you need a strong team. At TPIL Lawyers, we rise above the pack. When it comes to your total and permanent disability and compensation claims, choose TPIL, the personal injury lawyers. TPIL Lawyers, proud partner of AFL Queensland.
Christine.
afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the South Paris Football Club, I welcome you all to the Calibre Homes Oval, part of the QAFL Senior Men's ANZAC Round 4 clash between the Surfers Paradise Demons and the Labrador Tigers. Firstly, I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land in which we gather today and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. I'm honoured to be standing here today and welcome and introduce you to all Corporal Sophia Casarios, who will conduct the pre-match ANZAC Day service. Following Sophia, we'll hear the last post, followed by...
resilience and selflessness. From the shores of Gallipoli to the conflicts and peacekeeping missions of the world. From the shores of Gallipoli to the conflicts and peacekeeping missions around the world. The men and women that we remember today showed extraordinary bravery in the face of unimaginable hardship. But this day is not only about remembering the past, it is about carrying forward the legacy that they left behind. Standing up for one another, supporting our communities, and playing your role. On this day, we remember the past, honour the present, and look to the future, shaped by their legacy. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everything there, and huge effort to our returned servicemen. We're ready to get out there and start the game now, so let's pump up the music, Kat, and get the game started.
And welcome everyone to round 4 of the 2026 TPIL Lawyers QAFL Premiership season between Surfers Paradise and Labrador. Yes, right on siren time. Andrew Brown with you, joined shortly by my co-commentator for the day, Kane Browning. And welcome to the home, of course, of TPIL Lawyers QAFL live stream action on the AFL Queensland YouTube channel, live from Calibre Homes Oval or Sir Bruce Small Park. Home of the Demons on this ANZAC Day, and we've just had a fantastic service, which you may have seen if you joined the coverage earlier, as of course a lot of the clubs have been doing, and on behalf of all AFL Queensland, we thank all who have served our nation and honour them today. Clubs across Queensland have held commemorative services before games today, and we will jumpers honouring the ANZAC spirit. Our umpires for today, and with thanks to Bradnam's Windows and Doors, our main field umpires, number 17, Matt Bellina, 8, Kian Everson, and number 40, Lachlan Jones, boundary, Matt Gaddy and Sean Lyons, and in the goal we have Mwandu Elise and Zoe Matthews. As I mentioned, my co-commentator, and of course we've had eyes on the weather right throughout the night and the morning here on the Gold Coast. For those of you who, of course, live in southeast Queensland, we're well aware, pretty thunderous morning, and but people, of course, still brave the weather, as they should do, to honour the ANZAC, and for all those who attended the dawn services this morning. And again, we honour all of our servicemen and women. Good afternoon, Kane Browning.
Good afternoon, Brownie. Good afternoon, everyone. And it looks like we've just caught that little window, hopefully, of clear weather. There's plenty of clouds still around, and the ground looks pretty good considering the amount of rain we've had over the last 24 hours. But this sets up a really juicy contest between these two this afternoon. Surfers Paradise seen in 4th at the moment, Labrador in 6th. Basically only based on percentage, but they played in round 13 last year against each other. The last time they played, the Demons won by 101 points in the end. Way too good for the Tigers, and the Demons would like to repeat that today.
Well, in fact, it's the 3rd time they've met in the last 12 months, but of course they played in the final here as well in September, and that was still a large margin. So they've kicked a total of 37 goals in those 2 previous contests, Surface and Labrador struggled to kick 13. So that's where the story begins and ends. Of course, Oscar Wood, one of the big outs for Surfers Paradise today, along with Huey Greenwood, of course, with Gold Coast Suns action, and Joey Kennedy as well. And as far as Labrador concerned, a couple of late withdrawals there too. Number 1, Will Manchandon, who kicked a couple of late goals last week in our commentary game against Palm Beach. Tom Miller, the vice-captain, is also out. So coming in late was Zach Marshall, who originally was an emergency, and also Mackenzie Riddle, along with Sam Mercer. So a couple of changes there for Labrador. And Jay Foon for Labrador, number 9, has won the toss, and Labrador will be kicking to the left of your screens, left of our broadcast position here on the members wing, if you like, here at Calibre Homes Oval. So all is in readiness. It's been a special day. Hopefully a special game, of course. Surfers Paradise, as we know, coming off a bye. Kane, they've only played the 2 games. There have been 2 big wins as well against what you say finals contenders in Redland, Victoria Point, and also Morningside. Had last week off. The last time they had a bye, they played Broadbeach here, and Broadbeach absolutely tanked them. And that was when Broadbeach having the resurgence last year. So, no doubt, Coach Sam Dwyer has drilled that into the Demons to be on alert for a red-hot Labrador side, coached by Chris Rourke, and of course they'd be stinging after last week's loss. Big Zach Smith, more sort of a Gold Coast Suns reunion. We'll get to more of that in a moment. Of course, Swallow playing as well as Foon goes up there against Zach Smith. Cam Ellis-Ullman also back in the team for Surface this week, tried to feed the ball out to Swallow, couldn't do so. Ends up with Zach Smith though. Lenny as Lawrence King, the ball beat him. Ball chance for Labrador out there, missed, picked up by Snowball. Now a chance for Surface to go for Minogue, and also might have been Harrison Fraser, could have raffled it. 50 metres, apparently could have been downfield. Is that the way it's going to go? We'll soon find out. Looks like the number 16 to me for Surfers Paradise, Kane, and the Demons into attack straight away. Courtesy, of course, one of their main guns in Zach Smith.
No, and you said it before, Brownie, the Gold Coast Suns reunion almost in the middle of the ground, likes of Swallow, Zach Smith, and Ellis Yeoman as well, and Benny Woodburn's had a terrific start to the year, was amongst the possession getters on that occasion as well, but and of course lining up quickly.
We'll get to Oleg Markov in a moment. Of course, he's back on the Gold Coast playing for Surface, making his debut for the club today. and making no mistake on that occasion. And Surfers Paradise quickly through Harrison Fraser, the former skipper, of course, Matt Doran, doing all the captain's duties for Surfers these days. But Harrison Fraser, he knows these goals well at this oval, and Surfers on the board straight away in the first term.
No, they've been extremely good to start the season off, Surfers Paradise. I believe they've, like you said, Brownie, they had the bye last week, but they've beaten Morningside and they've been Redland Victoria Point in the grand final replaying round one. So they've had a pretty good start to the season, Surfers, and Labrador after last week would want to hit back quickly.
As we've mentioned, some handy recruits they've got too. So Smith going up the ruck against Billy Marshall. Down to Swallow. Of course, Luke Coombs wearing a different number this week. He wore a high number last week against Palm Beach. Wearing the number 2 today for Labrador with a couple of their changes. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Demons on the board early in the first couple of minutes of this contest, and hopefully the rain is gone, but it's still windy conditions here.
The battle between Marshall and Smith, no clear winners. Surfers looking to clear now on that far side wing. Looking for like a Doran up there, playing from behind. Wasn't paid the mark. Play on, said the umpire. Tigers looking to clear from half back. Surfers turn the ball over. They're going to go inside, tagging 50 now. Who's there? Oh, great diving mark there. And it looks like Zy Mullane.
Often plays on the back line, but might be a more forward role today. So good diving mark for 43, and wouldn't have been easy with Josh Minogue bearing down his hammer as well, but he plucked the ball out, Zy Mullane. He got a couple of knocks a couple of weeks ago, came down and saw the game against Morningside, and he quitted himself very well, and here's a chance to put the Surfers' second goal on the board.
He got a bit of a knock to the calf bowl. Actually, he's been shaking that out ever since he took the mark. So Mullane for goal number 2 for the Demons. Leans back, pushes it to the right, so that's the first minor score of the day going to the Ds. They lead by 7 points. Labrador yet to score.
Keep you updated too with all the other scores around TPIL lawyers, all the other grounds today in QAFL. Round 4. Palm Beach, though, have the bye. So they've got a big game next week against RVP. And a free kick going out there to Labrador. Going to the skipper in Foon. Been a good recruit for them from North Queensland. Kicked him go to 15. So Charlie Rowe was pretty good last week in that losing side against Palm Beach. As Riddle out there has taken the mark. Of course, one of the late inclusions. Just reminding Tom Miller not playing, the vice captain, and Will Manchandon as well. A late withdrawal. And Zach Marshall, who was originally out of the Labrador team, has been a late reinstatement. He's in the play there. In fact, got it down now from Goldsmith. Markov, his first foray in Demons colours, got around opponent beautifully to the first goal kicker in Fraser from back of the centre. His kick couldn't find the Minogue. Gregory went in hard though for Labrador. Lays a good tackle. How's the umpire going to see it? He laid an egg there, Kane. So Cade Gregory is pretty good off the half back line last week as well. Will take the free kick.
No, Gregory, great pressure there. Laid a good tackle, Minogue. He's got to move the ball now. Goes to that outer side wing. Found a teammate, which is fine. Where's he going to go from here? Towards half forward, Goldsmith. Kicked a number of goals last week. Some contested marks. He was pretty good against the Lions. Kick inside 50. Gets over the back and also rolls over the boundary line. Boundary throw in about 30 out from the Tigers' goal.
Already making the changes, the Demons, with Matt Doran, the skipper, coming off a break in the first 5 minutes. Obviously part of the schedule. Now, disappointing last week. Labrador never really got into it against Palm Beach, and see what Chris Rourke has done with their forward line this week to try and get some more goal power. Boundary throw-in takes place on the other side. Smith on the back of Goldsmith, down to Swallow. Players wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up.
Well, Duran and Swallow both started with 57, 56 possessions in the first few rounds, so they're leading the Demons on the stat sheet after week 3. Ellis Yeoman, great handball. Handball's over the top. Not the best of choices there. Got to keep the ball moving forward. That's another great handball to Duran. Kicks the ball 2-on-1. Great effort there by the Tigers on the last line. Bit of a fumble, in and under tackle. Umpire says give it to me. 10 metres out directly in front for the Ds.
Early stages of this contest. Surfers Paradise 1-1-7. Labrador still yet to score. Ball in dispute, top of the square for Surfers Paradise. After Labrador won the toss, getting to the left of your screens. Players just dive on top of it. Umpire looking for a clearance. Might be forced to come in and throw the ball up once again.
Looks like Gordon's come on for the D's as well off the interchange. So he's just at the back of this stoppage here. Keep an eye on him, number 41. Smith back in the ruck against Marshall. Good tackle there on the Demon player. And they haven't proceeded very far at all. Another ball up. Smith and Marshall again. Marshall just shoves Smith out of the way. Play on, said the umpire. Stuck in the forward pocket on that outer side. And again, another stoppage. There'll be plenty of those this afternoon, Brownie.
Yeah, I mentioned that Billy Marshall, 67 hit-outs so far. Of course, Oscar Wood's been doing a lot of the ruck work, joining with Zach Smith, but no Oscar Wood today. So we'll see who the support comes for Zach Smith today as the ball cleared the Labrador defensive zone. Matt Hoy dived on top of it, kicked the first goal last week for the Tigers.
Tackle.
And again, a good tackle laid. And by Zach Marshall, umpire will throw the ball up. This is umpire Lachlan Jones. Smith and Marshall do battle again. Grabbed by Charlie Rowe. Looking for Foon. The J variety. Eluded Ben Woodburn, of course, one of their blank ball getters. Quiet so far in the first few minutes. The ball knocked away from Lukey Coombs. The ball flushed out. An advantage paid. So Liam O'Day took the ball away. Goes inboard. And the mark's been taken there by Bailey Brown. Looking to play on quickly, looking for support from downfield. Likes to go out wide. Mark's taken by Goldsmith. Of course, got 4 late goals last week in junk time. Made the margin a bit more respectable. No one at home for the Tigers once again. That's the thing they need to improve, but looks as though they've got their first scoring opportunity for this afternoon. A minor score from a long kick. First behind of the afternoon there to number 17. One behind. Trails 1-1-7.
And Matty Lee's on for the Tigers, the captain, the co-captain, as the D's look to come out of trouble. That's a pretty decent kick considering the conditions. Trying to catch him unaware. Great tackle by the D's on that occasion. 2-on-1. Looking for Zach Smith. Ends up in the hands of Gordon. Gordon, middle of the ground. Play on, said the umpire. No free kick there. The Tigers go back into attack. Who's roving this one? No one really went up. And on the last line, looks like it was Nichols. Sorry, not Nichols. Michael Luxton, sorry. Got the teams mixed up. Play on to the umpire.
Oh, risky play.
Here's a chance for Mullane. Mullane looking to clear. Come out of trouble, looking for Smith. He's got to be good here again against Marshall. Found a teammate off the hands. That kick's not great. Back into the corridor. Could be dangerous. Swallow trying to win possession. Put the pressure on. Here's a chance for Gordon going into attack. Couldn't find a teammate. Ball rolls over the back. Now the D's are coming out of trouble again. Smith was looking for an interchange. He gets a chance now. Back into the corridor, and now they're off and running.
Through Charlie Rowe. Got the handball from Liam O'Day. Rowe goes forward. Now can they find a target here, Labrador? They can with Goldsmith. Out-muscled Tarleton. It might have been on that time. And the 217's doing battle, and Goldsmith will go back. And that's what Labrador need to do. Their inside 50 marks was lacking last week. But he used his body well there, Jake.
And that was a great kick by Charlie Rowe as well, coming out of trouble. Just gave the forward enough space to run into and take an easy chest mark in the end.
7 goals so far in season 2026. Bulk of those, of course, last week against PBC. Needs to be accurate here. It's a little floater. Won't make the distance, in fact. Had the advantage of the breeze. Coming through was McGuinness, of course, back from Southport duty. With a kick over the top, and well done by Labrador.
Looks like 8 and 5 down there.
Might have been 8 and 5, who found the scoring a little bit more difficult last week, but gets on the board, little left foot snap. So the Tigers are on the board. They level things up at the 10.5-minute mark, the opening term. 1-1-7 apiece here at Caliber Homes Oval. Andrew Brown and Kane Brown in commentary for you.
Well, it's going to be a real contested type of game, ladies and gents. Plenty of rain in the last 24 hours. The ground's held up pretty well considering the situation. 1-1-7, 10.5 minutes played. The ball's going to be on the ground a lot of the time, and plenty of contest work from both these sides. They've started off pretty well. And it looks like, just looking at a couple of these matchups, it looks like Foon's lining up on Swallow right in the middle of the ground here. So keep an eye on that contest. And Smith looking for Swallow, couldn't get clean hands, but they come out of trouble again, the D's. Little chip to half forward, looking for Woodburn. Got the handball away. Rode his own possession as well. Good at the bottom of the pack was Hoy. Ball could just get shoveled out. Great pressure from the Tigers here, from Foon. Now they're coming off the back of the pack. They've got an extra number out here. This is Snowball. Had the don't argue. Got the ball on boot somehow. Good pressure again from the Tigers. They've gone up a gear. Free kick found. There was a whistle blown. Now it's going to the Tigers by the looks of it. Not quite sure what that was for.
Zachy Marshall ends up with the ball though as Ben Woodburn takes a break. He'll be marked today. Here's Markoff. Another possession, so started well in the red and blue. Handball goes back to Markoff. It kept on running. There from Gordon. High kick towards the top of the square, but it's going to favour the Labrador defence, in particular Mackenzie Riddle. And the Tigers defender takes the mark, one of the late inclusions, as is Christian Webster. Of course, he's been playing for Southport as well. He's back in Labrador colours today. Markov down to Sam Jewell, who's helping out Zach Smith, the ruck work, but good chopping off there by Jaden Young. Ahead of Kane Gordon, takes the mark. Now the switch is on. Round to the other side, or allowed Minogue to come in there. So Minogue, he picked the ball up. Needs to get rid of the ball. He did so. Ball in dispute. Goes to Doran, little handball over. Markov, tackles finally by Liam O'Day. Held onto the ball, and the umpire said too long. He held to hit the free kick. Good tackle by either O'Day. In fact, the free kick ended up going with Billy Marshall.
No, Marshall was really good there. Tracked Markov down. Laid a really good tackle. Looking for A&5. Got a bit of a push in the back. Play on, said the umpire.
Fair push he got.
Oh, another push in the back there. Nice for the D's. Good smother on the footy there from Webster.
There's a chance.
Now A&5. 5 over the top to Mercer. Mercer back into the corridor looking for Hoy. Couldn't get to him, and the Demons come out of trouble through Swallow.
Great work by Beardsall. Just stuck his little pinkies out to spoil that contest with Hoy and stop probably what would have been a certain goal by Labrador. So great work by Billy Beardsall. The ball comes out here to McGuinness. Set fresh from Southport duty in the VFL. Finds his skipper in Matt Doran. He's just weighing things up here in the broadcast wing. His opposite skipper, Matt Lee. One of the skippers there for Labrador on the mark. Kick going down the line. Riddle couldn't take the mark. Ends up with Bailey Brown. Went one way, then the next goes short. Mark's been taken by Jay Foon.
Good kick. Foon. Now, they've got the advantage of a little bit of a breeze, pushing right to left here this afternoon. Not quite sure where to go, Foon. He's looking to go backwards, looking to get a little switch on. That is a shocking kick. 3-on-1. Great effort by the Tiger on that occasion. Foon might end up with it again. Right in the middle of the ground. He's got to work hard. Doran. Oh, great attack on the footy. Taking a chest mark. Kicks the ball back into the corridor. Look out, Hoy. Gives away the free kick for too high.
Go to Swallow.
Swallow started the game off pretty well.
Yeah, Reece Nichols will be the Tigers defender to be asking his skipper, please don't do that to me again. That pass, but Swallow finds Albie Jones. And Jones, long left foot kick. No one home for surface. So Labrador defenders doing well at the moment. Comes out to Harry Sullivan. He fumbled. Lying over there was Oleg Markov. And the umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. The ball will be thrown up right on the surface, Paradise 50. Still 1-1-7 apiece. So good start by Labrador, keeping things tight. We're halfway through the first term.
No, it was good by Labrador there to lock that ball in. That ball gets slammed over the boundary line. Another boundary throw in.
So Sam Jewell's doing the ruck work in place of Zach Smith. So they'll try and double team Billy Marshall this afternoon. Boundary umpire taking good step right in front of the Demons members stand. And that half-forward flank, Woodburn grabbed around the neck. First possession. Normally has leather poisoning throughout an afternoon, Ben Woodburn. The lead is on, squared off and found the target too. Well done. And marks taken by Harrison Fraser, who's got their only goal on the board so far, and will have a set shot. Of course, I mentioned the skipper involved in those 2 wins last season as well against Labrador.
It's going to take a decent kick, Brownie, from here. That wind has suddenly picked up. He's going to be kicking right into the teeth of this breeze. See how he goes.
Yeah, keep the ball low. Low ball drop, get over it. And he does. It's feeding back nicely. Harrison Fraser knows what it's all about. He's got both of the Demons' goals so far. And they extend that margin by one straight kick. 2-1-13. Labrador 1-1-7. Travel 16.5 minutes. Opening term. Round 4 of TPIL Lawyers QAFL for season 2026.
Well, I was wondering going into this game, Brownie, where Labrador were going to get their goals from other than Goldsmith. They need to get some roving players at half forward. They've gone in there a couple of times and not really had anyone roving the pack. So keep an eye on that, ladies and gents. Servers on the other end, they're getting numbers for the contest. They've got the extra number at the back of the stoppage. And they're getting some clearances into attacking 50. And the likes of Fraser and Doran, who's started the game off pretty well, have hit the lead 2-1-13 to 1-1-7. Play continues.
So Harry Sullivan will get the clearance now for Labrador. Down towards Goldsmith. And putting his head down, showing a bit of courage there. Might have been Josh Neas. So the ball will be thrown up just inside Labrador's attacking 50. Players gather round. Down to Luke Coombs. He's immediately tackled though. No chance of getting clear there. And umpire Keane Everson with number 8. But again, thanks to Bradnam Doors and Windows. Looking after the umpires once again in season 2026. Couldn't pick the ball up there, Neas. Harry Sullivan goes in again. And umpire Everson will come in and repeat the duty, Kane, with Surface Paradise leading it by one straight kick on the special Anzac Day edition here.
Smith and Goldsmith. Try working those twos out. Woodburn with a solid tackle. Nice at the bottom of the pack again. He's been involved in the last 3 stoppages. Looking for a free kick. A bit of a push and shove. Coombs is involved there for the Tigers. Woodburn's at the bottom of that.
Well, no surprise.
As the umpire just says, well, sorry, guys, I'm just going to throw the ball up, so play on. Another tackle laid. Bit of heat in the kitchen at the moment.
Bailey Brown had the ball, but he was tackled by Leah Campsey, who started the game on the bench. So need a clearance here. Labrador looking for another goal to reply to Surface. Markov in there, kicked the ball quickly away. Snowball involved. Bailey Brown off the ground. Markov breaking up plenty of possessions. As Tom Foon came in, he lost possession of the ball. Bailey Brown's in there again. Pretty scrambly stuff at the moment. Need a clearance. It came courtesy of Lee. Ball beats all comers over the top. And leaving the pressure there for Surface was Broadbent. And found the teammate there on the back flank in Kane Gordon. Lucky just to find Carrigan. The 2 number 5s on each other at the moment. The short of centre wing. Carrigan goes down the line. Minogue sent himself. Now the umpire's picked out a free kick. It was a hold. And it's against Christian Webster. It needs to stand.
It's going to go to Jewel.
It's going to Jewel. So it wasn't going the way of Minogue. So Jewel has the ball now for Surface Paradise.
Duran screaming for it short. Jewel's going to decide to go long. Kept the ball pretty low. No one at home at all for the
Sam Dwyer will not be happy with that.
Demons.
Not
and it's
presenting
Jed
a
Riddle
target.
coming out of trouble again. Now here's a chance. This is Jordan Young. Young decided to take a bounce, kicks the ball 50 metres. That's a brilliant tip.
That's better.
Great kick to Goldsmith. They got Coombs one out at full forward. He's got to go quickly. Decides to go long. Gets it over the back. Diving attempt to the mark there. No one at home for the Tigers. And the D's are going to come out of trouble once more. Woodburn, solid contact. Just the free kick or the mark paid. And he's going to pull himself up gingerly there. Keep an eye on that, Brownie.
Zach Marshall was the one who went back, but possibly could have let it go. But again, Surface Paradise turning the ball over, cops the ball up there to Marshall. Billy, that is. Now he's looking for Zach. Needs to stand there and wait underneath it. But Jewel came in, affected the spoil as Reece Nichols will come in off the bench and try and get himself in the fray. And came off hands, so it'll be a boundary thrown right in front of the Labrador bench. And Chris Rourke wouldn't be too disappointed at the moment. They're having a fair piece of the ball lately. And that long shot from Goldsmith, and perhaps Zach Marshall could have left it. We should see what would have happened. A boundary throw-in takes place. Short one, shallow one, and a hold. And looks like other way as Zach Smith. Marshall not happy. Zach looks behind him, finds his skipper there, Matt Doran. Goes across the face of goal and finds McGuinness. Of course, normally plays in defence for Southport as well. Over to Tarlinson. Recruit from Aspley last year. His kick again, not finding the target. Matt Hoy almost pushed in the back. Umpire called play on. And what will the umpire decide here? Umpire Jones will come in and throw the ball up on the outer side. So, gone over 21.5 minutes, the opening term here at Calibre Homes Oval. And a service just by 1 goal, low-scoring affair, as it was 2 weeks ago when they played Morningside here. In fact, service took about 45 minutes. Took well until the second quarter to kick their first goal. The Labrador go into attack, but a safe being taken by McGuinness there on the half-back flank.
No, it's strange to see McGuinness in the red and blue, usually playing for Southport, like you say. Duran looking for Nice in the middle of the ground. Here's Markov on debut. Little chip kick, 2-on-1. Can it get over the back? Great tackle there by Fraser. Play on, says the umpire. Snap on goal from Snowball. It's home. Harrison Fraser, there's a goal assist. And Snowball kicks his first. And that's the sort of pressure we've been looking for so far today. The Demons 3-1-19, the Tigers 1-1-7, 22 and a bit minutes played, opening quarter, Brownie.
Yes, well, the Suns connection involved there with David Swallow and, of course, Oleg Markov. 94 AFL games, bit stiff early on with Richmond, who was sitting on the sidelines, missed their premiership years, and then, of course, came to the Gold Coast, but he got his reward eventually in 2023. Playing Collingwood's premiership team, where he endeared himself to Craig McRae that year. You're shaking your head.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
You didn't want Collingwood to win the premiership that year.
Well, not necessarily, no. I must admit, I was going for the young Lions.
Well, they made up for it.
Bit of a hard one to pick that game in a couple of years back. But anyway, as play continues now, Goldsmith's in the ruck for the Tigers versus Zach Smith. I'm going to be in trouble for that for the next week and a half, I reckon. Woodburn at the bottom of the pack trying to clear it. Matty Lee dives on him, and the umpire says, give it to me, boys. I'll take it.
In fact, credit to the groundsman here and the drainage abilities of this oval, because the Colts match was actually called off because there was thunder and lightning in the area halfway through the game. Reserves got through their game, which come to winter surface. And really, except for the centre, the rest of the ground is in pretty pristine condition, considering the amount of rain that we've had.
And generally, the middle of the ground is basically a cricket pitch, so I think a lot of these players will be happy about that, being a bit soaked. 8-5, bounces over his head. The Demons looking to clear from half-back again. Kim Board's worked okay. Got to kick the ball quickly. Chips the ball up. Looks like that's Minogue. He's kicked a number of goals, looking for the switch. Good contest. Ball held up in a breeze. That's got to be 50. Yes, it is.
And compensation claims.
So a bit undisciplined there, the D's on that occasion.
So Jordan Hayden will take full benefit here. Goes to the edge of the square. Umpire brings him back there. Now he needs a lead, needs a target. He's going to the forward pocket. Not happy with his kick. Goes to the left forward pocket. Makes it hard now for Labrador. Goes up with Sullivan to try and back his abilities here, but beats all comers. And the mark's been taken. Might have been by Gordon down there, or Albie Jones. And the kick out wide. And this is Gordon now. A little chip kick over the top, finds Woodburn. Defensive 50, out of side. Surface, working it well. Here's the best player on the ground so far there in Fraser. Got 2 of the goals. Now to Swallow. And now Zach Smith on a lead. Oh, Spill what he should have taken. Snowball there for support. Took an attorney to tap it over to him. What can Snowball do? He got the ball back to Mullane, and in the end, Snowball was slung. And slung after he got rid of it. Labrador not happy with that decision. Jaden Young wants to come back and meet her. So after he got rid of the ball there, Snowball, he was slung. That's the reason for the free kick. So he can join Harrison Fraser on 2 goals. Be the only 2 goal kickers if he can follow Harrison Fraser's lead and allow for the breeze. Again, it'll test him, kicking for about 45 as we approach the 26-minute mark of the opening term here. Overcast conditions, sun trying to stream through. A Snowball needs to aim for that left post. He has. Now the ball swings back. Umpire leads aim straight over his head. He signals the full points. And Service Paradise get their 4. 2 goals each to Harrison Fraser and Lucas Snowball. 4-1-25. Labrador stuck on 1-1-7.
I mean, the depth kick from Swallow looking for big Zach Smith. Zach Smith did everything but take the mark. Snowball was a little bit hesitant there. He didn't get sucked into the contest. He probably got slung around 360 a couple of times and then got slung to the ground after he got rid of the footy. So the free kick, probably a bit lucky in the end with the free kick, and it wasn't holding the ball. Snowball went back beautifully, left to right. Great finish, and all of a sudden the Tigers find themselves behind by 3 goals.
Ball back in the centre. Goldsmith in the ruck duty against Zach Smith now. Well, Brown might have been held. Umpire called play on. Swallow. He went in. Ball fed out there by Carrigan. Intercepted. Kick off the ground by Swallow. Centre half back. Tigers in defence. Might have been a throw. No. Pushing the back. Free kick paid. Go to Kay Gregory. Really tries hard. Across that defence for the yellow and black. Now coming out wide. He's going to find Jay Foon. What can he do with the ball? Not much offense, just one-on-one. Good defensive work there by Service Paradise. Forced Foon to stop and think. Kick down, look for Goldsmith. When in fact, Zach Marshall went over his head. Charlie Rowe missed that intercept. Back to Zach Marshall. Tackle Broadbeach Ben. Players wrapped up in a tackle. We'll keep you updated with the other games. Broadbeach at home to Aspley at early 10-point lead to the Cats. Battle the Sunshine Coast today, Noosa and Maroochydore. But play resumes here. Charlie Rowe off the pack. Has a snapshot at goal. He's got to teach the goal square. But again, no one home. And the mark's been taken by the ever-reliable defender and Albie Jones.
Albie Jones looking to come out of trouble. Found a teammate out there. Looks like Mullane. Mullane, handball over the top to Doran. Back to Mullane. Mullane steps back in board. Decides to take a bounce. Takes the defence on of the Tigers. Handball over the top. All of a sudden they've switched out here. Marshall's out here playing that spare man, so they're trying to use the handball. Now they've got a bit of room to move. Albie Jones, he started it, he might finish it. Looking for Minogue. Minogue hits the pack hard. Ball comes to the front. Tigers looking to come out of trouble again. This little chip kick. Here's a foot race. Zach Smith versus Charlie Rowe. Bit of a height discrepancy there. Charlie Rowe worked very well there. Bailey Brown tips to Coombs, and Coombs is about 110 metres out. He might go for goal, decides not to. Ron the siren. Quarter time here, 4-1-25.
team. At TPIL Lawyers, we rise above the pack. When it comes to your total and permanent disability and compensation claims, choose TPIL, the personal injury lawyers. TPIL Lawyers, proud partner of AFL Queensland.
AFL Nines, it's footy for best mates looking to be teammates.
Cardio fiends after a bit of competition.
Legends of the game, looking at making a comeback.
It's footy for when your week's pretty cooked, or for fitting it in between classes.
It's footy!
It's footy.
It's footy!
It's footy for me. Okay, let's give them 60 minutes of skills, fitness and fun. And let's not forget about connection. We're talking safe, inclusive and modified rules, perfect for newcomers. Okay, super kick on 3.
1, 2, 3, super kick! Yeah!
Super fun, super safe, super inclusive. Super kick, tailor-made for 7 to 12-year-olds.
Football club is very, very important in this community. Without it, there's not much else to do in such a small town.
I do believe that there's so much more to sport than just winning.
If my story says anything, it's that you don't need the experience, having the passion and having the want to see the young girls excel.
It's also, to me, a chance to give back to the community.
To find your more, visit play.afl/more to footy.
It's not just an Australian sport. There's a lot of countries that come over and create a home here that can also join in and play the sport to the fullest potential.
All the advice that you get given, it's really inspiring.
Being part of a football team is more than just a game. It's like a family.
To find your more.
And welcome back to Calibre Homes Oval here in Benoa, home of Surfers Paradise Demons. And for this round 4 clash, ANZAC Day special edition clash between Surfers Paradise and Labrador for TPIL Lawyers QAFL, as I said, round 4. And at quarter time, it's the home team leading it by 3 straight goals, 4-1-25, Labrador 1-1-7, 2 goals each to Harrison Fraser and Lucas Snowball for the Demons. Solitary goal kicker there for Labrador, Aidan Fife. And interesting to see Chris Rourke there, the coach of Labrador, at quarter time, stepping away from his group, really showing them where to attack this second term towards the southern end, Ashmore Narang Road end. And hopefully more scoring opportunities in the second term. Andrew Brown with you, alongside me, Kane Browning.
Yeah, thanks, Brownie. And it looks like Kane Gordon's moved into the forward line for the D's. That's an interesting move. He was playing majority half back. He had plenty of possessions in that first quarter, so that's an interesting move. Keep an eye on that. Zach Smith and Marshall back in the middle of the ground, looking for Doran. Swallowed the ball of the pack, ends up with Doran. Ellis Yeoman had a pretty quiet first quarter, and it looks like it's going to be the Tigers with the first clearance, going into attack. Who's there for the Tigers? Roving onto that beautifully, and the goal is there. Number 16, looks like Lachlan Rook.
Yep.
Rode the pack beautifully. We talked about that in the first quarter. They weren't getting the ball at ground level. And first chance inside attacking 50. They've kicked the first goal. That took 35 seconds, Brownie, so they hit back.
Yeah, Liam O'Day was the one that pushed the ball forward. He's gone into the centre as well. He loves a bit of a tackling machine as well, Liam O'Day. And that's exactly the start that Coach Chris Rourke wanted. So Service Paradise might hear now affects Mike. Wind blowing straight into our faces. Towards the left forward pocket, right towards the sight screen, the cricket sight screen. That's, of course, out of play for the summer. In the left forward pocket here at Calibre Homes Oval. But a good start as Marshall and Smith do battle again. Doran, he tackled to the ground. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Good crowd attendance for this Anzac Day clash. Many would have started earlier, of course, those Anzac Day dawn services, honouring our servicemen and women as Luxton takes the ball away there for Service Paradise. Snowball and Gregory. There'll be a good battle this afternoon, but Snowball's got 2 already on the 14. And chipping in and taking the mark there is Billy Beardsall. So Beardsall on the far side of the oval. Let's go in short and find his taller teammate in Zach Smith. Lopes along, but the kick just ahead of O'Day. Looking there for Luxton and finds him. Now the Demons can mount something from out there. Luxton looking for the marking power. Cam Ellis-Olin has been a bit quiet so far, and Mackenzie Riddle got the better of him on that occasion, and their way through Reece Nichols.
Riddle was brilliant on the last line there against Ellis Yeoman. That little chip kicker out wide. Mullane didn't get a hand on it, says the umpire, so that's going to be a free kick going to the Demons. No touch. Last touch out against the Tigers.
Good touch right on the line, but Mullane getting the benefit of the doubt.
Mullane decides to go long. Who's up there for the D's? Ellis Yeoman playing in front. Jules around the mark as well. Ellis Yeoman attacks the ball hard. Couldn't win possession. Gordon's there for the D's. Jewel back to Swallow. That's a massive kick, and that's just snuck into the left-hand side. That could have been goal of the year from Swallow. Just missing, so minus score to the Demons. 4-2-26 to 2-1-13. Tick under 3 minutes played in the second quarter. And the Tigers are going to come out of trouble once more.
Over the outer side, bounces well. Nicely there for Fife. Kicked their only goal in the first term. Finds his fellow forward there in Goldsmith. Goldsmith swings around. Looking there for Hoy. Leading out though is Zach Marshall. As I mentioned, he's one of the late inclusions for Labrador. Originally he was out of the team. Had a pretty dirty week last week against the Lions. We started more positive fashion this afternoon, Kane.
No, he's been pretty good up forward. Again, they haven't had a lot of opportunities in this first half, but good attack on the ball there. Good mark taken in the sort of greasy conditions, but this will be a very difficult kick for goal.
So Zach Marshall was instrumental against Aspley in the away win a couple of weeks ago. Difficult shot and just a bit too narrow and might have missed everything. In fact, he has. Doesn't add to the score at the moment. So coming to the 4 minute mark, second term. Labrador trail by 13 points. 2-1-13. Service Paradise 4-2-26.
Someone might want to keep an eye on Harrison Fraser moving in the middle of the ground. Keep an eye on that Brownie. Woodburn decided to go for the lead. Gordon playing from behind. Good contested mark there. Handball to Woodburn. Handball over the top. That was Lawrence King, very quiet in the opening half. Back in the middle of the ground to Markov, found Zach Smith. Got held on to. That could have been 50. Play on, said the umpire. Here's a chance for Beardsell. Beardsell looking for Ellis Yeoman. Didn't get to the contest. He's being held. Free kick to the D's.
Yeah, he claimed it straight away. And that's the danger. Kicking with that attacking breeze, it's a matter of reading it. And Labrador slightly caught out of position, forced to hold on to Ellis Yeoman. And he should go back from 20 metres out, should make no mistake, Kane.
Well, it was a 2-on-1. Tigers really didn't have to stuff it up the way they did, but clear pull on the jumper and right in front of the umpire. Ellis Yeoman laying up for his first of the afternoon. Leans back on the right foot. It's home. So the Demons kicking their fifth. 5-2-32 to 2-1-13. 5.25 minutes played, second quarter. And the D's just keeping that margin just over that 3 goals.
Comes the third individual goal kicker after 2 each to Fraser and also Lucas Snowball. Quick response to the Labrador opening goal by Ellis Ullman. It was good work by Service Paradise, taking full advantage of the breeze, and Broadbent came streaming through the middle, that long bomb, and Ellis Ullman, the beneficiary of that free kick. So the ball back in the centre. Zach Smith up against Billy Marshall again. Marshall did well. Got the first tap down, but only as far as Markov. He's proving very influential at the moment. At the back, they're going to read it off. Beautifully done by Gordon, and he makes no mistake. Kane Gordon, you could see him weight down for it. He knew the ball had come off the hands of the pack, and Oleg Markov, well, simple instructions from Sam Dwyer. If you get the clearance, kick the ball long, they'll have the forward capacity to make them capitalise as Zach Smith takes a break. So probably Jewel go into the ruck. And 2 goals in as many minutes for the Demons. Now to 6-2, 38, 25-point lead over Labrador, 2-1-13. Travel 6.5 minutes, second term.
Well, at the moment, looks like the Coombs is the one line up on Markov. Got to stay within touch in the second quarter of the Tigers. They started very slowly last week against Palm Beach and all of a sudden found themselves 4 goals down. Jewel and Marshall back in the ruck. Jewel won on that occasion. Who's at the bottom of the pack here? Lee for the Tigers. Trying to get the handball out. They're just forcing the ball forward here. Might end up with Snowball. Swallow tried to get the handball out to him. Play on, so the umpire. Players dive on it. Ball's not going anywhere. It's right on the 50-metre arc for the D's.
I think sure Labrador's looking forward to hosting Service Paradise one day. This is the third contest between these two at this ground over the last 12 months. It has been the Demons easily the previous 2 meetings, but what can Labrador do? Fife got the ball over the top. Hoy lays a tackle, was effective. Lee picked up the crumbs. Back to Kay Gregory, and he finds Luke Coombs. He's had fairly quiet so far, but certainly been involved in a few tackles and a couple of scuffles. Wearing the number 2 this week. So Coombs, we're on the true centre wing on the outer side, and Goldsmith presents well. It's taken about 4 or 5 marks so far today, which is promising. Needs to turn it into 6 points. It's beautifully intercepted by McGuinness as the short pass went to Hoy. As you can see, the Demons leading it by 25 points. Lays it off to Markov.
Markov, little chip kick to Nice. Here's a chance with Doran. Doran trying to get this ball over the back. Good contest there. Got a bit of a shove for his liking with Swallow.
We're seeing those dark clouds in the background. I'm glad they're missing us, Kane, at the moment.
Swallow looking for Ellis Yeoman again. Going to clear all those defenders. Good tackle there by the Tigers. They're under the pump here. They've got to be smart. That clearing kick might just stay in. No, it doesn't. It's going to be a lasso either way. So free kick to the Demons.
Albie Jones.
And Albie Jones will be taking it.
Right.
And you're right, Brownie. That looks very ominous left of screen, those clouds. Hopefully they don't decide to come this way. Albie Jones steps back to the outside. Too good for the opponent on that occasion. Not a bad kick inside 50 and an easy uncontested mark in the end.
King, I think, is it?
Down there. Yeah, it looks like King. Yes, it is. So King, very quiet first quarter, found himself deep forward and it was an uncontested mark in the end. Ball dropping short.
He's a leading goal kicker for Surface. Of course, only played the 2 games, had 7 goals from the 2 games so far. Looking to add to that tally now.
King probably needs to start this slightly right and bring it back, which he does. Straight over the goal umpire's hat, so that's another goal of the D's. They moved to 7-2-44 to 2-1-13, and all of a sudden that margin is out to 5 goals.
Yeah, certainly danger signs here for Labrador and Chris Rourke here. They got off to such a good start. That quick goal by Lachlan Rourke in the first 30 seconds of this term, but since then it's all been Southport moving the ball quickly, finding a target inside. On that occasion it was Lawrence King doing the good work, so he becomes the 5th individual goal kicker for the Demons, already stretched that lead, as you mentioned, to over 30 points now, 31 in fact, biggest lead of the game. As the umpire throws the ball up, Jewel. Marshall easily got the tap out, but there's no one there for Labrador to clean up. Tarleton overran the ball. Hayden likewise overran it for Labrador. Now players dive on top of it. No one getting clear. Umpire will throw the ball up.
Jeez, Marshall just about jumped on his opponent's shoulder there in the ruck. He's absolutely working his backside off, Marshall. Has he got another tap out there? Markov, handball over the top, found a teammate. Not quite sure where to go. That worked okay to Carrigan. Carrigan up right in front of us here, and a good intercepting mark. This bloke had a pretty good day last week in Jed Riddle. Down back. The ball was going down there plenty of times.
It was named as Labrador's best last week, in fact.
Riddle, unfortunately, turned the ball over there to Leah Campchi. Campchi to McGuinness. McGuinness, not quite sure where to go. Little mini switch as possible. Got to hit a target out there.
Broadbent.
That's Broadbent. Thank you very much. Chips the ball back in board. Now they've got the switch on this broadcast side. McGuinness has ended up with it once more. Chip kick works okay. Back into the corridor. They're trying to be precise here. Doran.
Beautiful.
Now they're out through Snowball. Where does he go from here? True centre half forward. Ellis Yeoman. Great contested mark there. Back to Snowball. Snowball chips to the pocket. Doran attempt to mark. Unfortunately, couldn't take it. Jules trying to rove it. Hoy for the Tigers, looking to clear off half-back. Not the best of handballs. Here's another chance for the D's. Kick to the space, and in the end, way too good. It looks like Fraser down there has taken the mark.
King again,
sorry.
With the right arm ink, but the player that's always impressed me since being able to follow TPIL lawyers, QAFL over the last 2 or 3 years is Albie Jones. Uses the ball so well with that left foot. He did it again. And whistle's gone. I'm not sure. He's telling Lawrence King to move around. Is creeping around. Well, if he moved off the mark, why isn't it play on? But anyway, straightens him up. So Lawrence King trying to become another multiple goal kicker for the Demons and really piling the pressure on their opponents, the Tigers. He comes in, sets shot, and umpire's got to do a bit of work. Zoe Matthews, and signals just the 1 minor score. So Laurie King won't be happy with that. But they extend the lead to 32 points now, 7-3-45. Labrador 2-1-13. And Labrador trying to get something going.
Looks like Foon out there for the Tigers.
50 metres.
50 metre. Umpire was right onto that. So here's a chance for the Tigers.
Came from outside the zone to stand on the mark.
Now Goldsmith has taken a number of marks on the lead here. As the Demons push back into trouble. Looking for Goldsmith again. Isn't going to get there. That's a great intercept mark. Luxton back into the corridor. King looking to play on. Ducks around a teammate. Handball over to Gordon. He's been good this afternoon. Gordon looking to the pocket. Good kick. Good depth kick. And Markov found some space. Got a nice shove for his...
That almost could have been 50.
Liking, I would have probably said that was 50 as well. Brownie and Markov looking to kick his first goal on debut. He's going to be lined up from about, you'd probably say 40 metres out.
Of course, Money played in defence in his AFL career. Recruited originally from South Australia.
Markov. This is for the first goal as a D. Can he send it through? Leans back. Is it going to come back enough? No, it's not. So minor score to the Ds. 7-4-46 to 2-1-13. 33 points the margin.
At Foon. Oh, he was almost off there. How the umpires see that? It was either 50 or play on. It was neither. Little chip kick to Hayden under pressure there from McGuinness. Takes the mark. Now Labrador needs to maintain possession here. Going to look for a switch. Mackenzie Riddle goes in short, finds Webster. So Webster and McGuinness on opposite sides know each other well. Kicks it straight to Ellis Ullman. And King, that'll be a free kick for chopping of the arm, surely. So Laurie King will go back. He's had a third set shot at goal. He's got 1 goal, 1 so far over the last 5 minutes. Let's see what we can do here, Kane.
Well, we found it a number of times last week against Palmy when they tried to... That little short corridor kick was getting turned over quite a lot. Yeah. And the D's, well, they're way too good to let a chance like this slip. And King, he's, like you said, Brennan, he's had a few shots in the last couple of minutes.
Christian Webster was the one that caused the error as Leggy Markov comes off for a break. What can King do now? As he learned from his last kick. Starts the ball, not far enough right again. He didn't learn. Kane, need to go out there and give him a couple of lessons. He should know this go around well enough to be allowing for that breeze, but it's another minor score.
Well, the first one was good by King, but the last couple, unfortunately, maybe he was aiming for a bit more distance.
Young to Jed Riddle. Outside defensive 15, Matt Lee wrapped up in a tackle by Swallow. So Harrison Fraser's gone out of the game. You mentioned his name before. I just wonder if he's off the ground getting some treatment. We'll try and chase that up.
No, he's at it's an half forward.
Okay. So the ball juggled by Smith out of the ruck, looking for Woodburn. Slung around opposite number 3 in Bailey Brown. Fed through beautifully there to Foon. And Jay Foon, can he find the target in Mercer? Another one of the inclusions for the Tigers this afternoon. Couldn't keep it in play. Boundary umpire will throw the ball in.
Billy Bedsell was brilliant there. Came off his man, hit the contest hard and forced that ball out of bounds. It was a 2-on-1 in favour of the Tigers. They would have been away.
There's Harrison Fraser in the centre of Calibre Homes Oval here. The ball thrown back in. And it's the Demons with the handy lead. Now that came off Zach Smith's foot. Liam O'Day's trying to push him off the ball. Marshall went in. He tries his hand as well. The umpire was just going to come and throw the ball up, and Marshall kindly lifting Zach Smith up too so they can contest the ruck, just comparing notes. Smith taps it down, went straight to Foon. Out to Woodburn. Smart handball, finds Doran. Left foot kick. He's got Gordon in the middle. Went over him. Smack bang in the centre of the park. Beardsall looking for a pass. Beautiful pinpoint pass. This time it's Jewell he's found. So that's the difference between the two teams. When they go forward, they're invariably finding a target, the Demons. Labrador struggling to find a target in their forward line. And with the advantage of this breeze, the Demons doing all the attacking. So can Sam Jewell, with Oscar Wood out of the team this week, Jewell taking his place in the ruck. Can he show Lawrence King what to do? He can! Straight over Zoe Matthews' head, the goal umpire at that end. And they pile on more misery for the Tigers. The Demons get their 8-5-53. Labrador 2-1-13, travelled 18 minutes the second term, and Jewell gets his first for the afternoon.
Well, arguably, Billy Bedsell, during that passage of play, he has saved one goal down one end by clearing that ball out of bounds, and that kick inside 50 to Jewell was just absolutely magnificent. Lace out, didn't have to change stride, and Jewell, well, you're right, Brady, showing his teammates how it's done, kicking his first.
Well, we've got the status quo from the first quarter at the moment. We're Surfers kicked 4 goals, Labrador 1. Well, we've reached that stage at the 18.5-minute mark. The Surfers got 4 in the second term, and Labrador just the first. In fact, the first goal in the first 30 seconds of this quarter. And they've been silent ever since, as the Demons are piling on the pressure. Smith and Goldsmith doing the ruck. Coombs, who tackled high by Swallow. Umpire said no. Come and repeat the dose and throw the ball up.
His ankle gave way a little bit on the soft ground there, so...
Smith and Goldsmith down only as far as Doran. High up and under. King's in the front position. Oh, but coming over the back. Good mark there by Reece Nichols. That shows what he's capable of. Quickly switches play out wide to Harry Sullivan. Goes in short. You find Goldsmith. He's got Matt Lee there in support. Hayden is screaming for the ball on the broadcast side. That lead's ignored, and this allows the Surfers Paradise now to man up. It's time to go back, centre half back, and find Jaden Young. Now Christian Webster. He's got Tom Foon out here if he wants him. He made the mistake last time going forward, Webster. Won't make the same mistake, goes to Tom Foon.
Tom Foon now on this broadcast side wing. And all of a sudden, Goldsmith playing that second ruck role. Oh. They've got nothing forward of the footy here, Tigers, so they're just trying to share the ball around. This is Gregory. Had a pretty good afternoon last week. Back to O'Day. Chips out wide. That could have been a push in the back play, said the umpire. McGuinness defending perfectly as usual, just forces that ball out of bounds, out of side, about 70 out from the Tigers' goal.
Just doing what's required at the moment, Surfers Paradise, looking quite comfortable. Boundary throw to take place next to the scoreboard, showing 40-point lead, biggest lead of the game to the Demons. Taking control in the second term. Bundle out of the way, Goldsmith to Zach Smith. Doran, they're mopping up, getting the clearances. They're smashing Labrador in that respect at the moment, being held. And that could almost be 50. As the ball kicked away from Sam Jewell, who got the free kick.
One-on-one sport at the centre here, Brownie.
Markov offering a lead, looking for a short corridor, and finds Laurie King. 1-2 in this term. Short kick doesn't find the target, but Swallow is there to mop up. Again, the Suns connection down to Markov. Now Minogue in the front position, and Josh Minogue takes the mark. And just about his first set shot of the afternoon. Josh Minogue. Of course, North Albury, very successful there on the border. Very much a key forward now, playing on the Gold Coast for Surfers Paradise. But instead to aim, how far right of this goalpost do you think, Kane?
Oh, geez, at the moment, I'd be aiming
1.5.
Probably right in the middle of the point between goalpost and point post here, and bring it back beautifully.
We're right behind the kick here. Let's see what Minogue can do. Well, it's gone the other way. How do you manage that? He's done a buddy kick. In fact, he hasn't even scored, and Webster juggled it off the boundary, off the goal line there. And the Labrador are away as conditions do get a bit murky. Matt Hoy, number 44, 2 goals last week, quite so far. But Labrador now running. They need to keep going forward, not backwards. With Nichols involved. Back to Gregory and Hoy. Now Mercer, but the ball went over the boundary line. I think it did.
Oh, so instantly they're back under the pump, the Tigers.
Get your country and western and your radio going. Got another lasso out there. And the free kick be taken by Luxton.
Geez, might see some lights come out on here shortly, Brownie. It's getting a little bit dark and murky here as those clouds are starting to head in.
Well, I don't like your chances, because you'll be commentating by yourself after half-time, mate, if it starts pouring rain in the commentary box. You're covered by the
well, yeah, I've got the bulletproof glass and you're out in the open, Brownie, so apologies for that. As
Paul Beck's trying to hold the camera.
Here's a chance for the Tigers, though. Probably the best ball movement this quarter. Not the best kicks as it hold up in the breeze. 2 defenders come together for the Tigers. Beardsell on the last line again. Dives on it. Hoy dives on him. Play on, said the umpire. And here's a chance for the Demons to come out through Albie Jones. They're going to find Mullane at half back.
So Zy Mullane had a shot at goal in the first term, but it was off target. Now on the back line. Favours the broadcast boundary side. Minogue's there. Over the back was Webster. So was Jed Riddle.
No.
A little short handball by Billy Marshall. Looking for the lasso there was Gordon. Boundary umpire didn't find in his favour. So boundary throw in right in front of us, approaching half-time. 23.5 minutes gone. 40-point lead to the home team, Surfers Paradise. Here for TPIL Lawyers. QAFL round 3. Front position was Jewell. That's a better clearance by Labrador. Rowe was involved to Marshall. There to Bailey Brown. Got the ball down towards the forward line. Zach Marshall. Picking up was Goldsmith. They can have a snap here if he wants. Now the ball's going to bounce and keep bouncing from Zach Marshall and through for a badly needed goal for the Tigers.
Goldsmith, well done. He was absolutely brilliant there, Goldsmith. But you're right, Brownie. That clearance work from that boundary throw-in was probably the best we've seen from the Tigers all day. Ended up in the hands of Bailey Brown, and Brown got in towards Goldsmith, and Goldsmith just rolled around on the right foot. That ball rolled for an eternity. Demons trying to track it back, but too good on that occasion with the Tigers, and that's probably the best passage of play we've seen all day.
Absolutely. They found a target there, and they closed that margin by one straight kick. Margin back to 34 points, up coming to the 25-minute mark of the second term.
Ball back in the middle. Marshall has been desperately... He's been great today for the Tigers. As Smith, they both overrun it. They could have been over the line. Play on to the umpire. That little hack kick got a shove for his trouble as well. Bit slow to get up. Ball's going to come out here. Gordon, probably the first mistake that he's made all day. Not the best of hairballs either. Trying to find a teammate in Charlie Rowe. He's been more lively in the second quarter. Handball from no one. That's going to be a lasso. And again, the Demons are going to go back into attack through Woodburn.
Finds Zach Smith inboard. That breeze is picking up. A couple of ominous clouds around. Just shows how difficult it is. Carrigan wants a fresh airy. Labrador, can they counter-attack? Hayden, just a loose handball over the top. They'll take two again here, surface. Through Woodburn.
Good kick.
Target is down and finding Harrison Fraser.
Ellis Yeoman not moving a lot. It's a 1-on-1. He makes the lead now. Fraser sort of puts the ball to the left here. Ellis Yeoman made a good contest, but it's 3-on-1 in front of the Tigers. They've turned it over again, though. Woodburn, can he get his hands on the footy? No, that ball's not going anywhere. Ball up, left forward pocket, probably about 25 out from goal. As that wind is really picking up through the effects mic now. Ellis Yeoman trying to find Woodburn again. The Tigers not quite sure where to go. We're going to clear from the back pocket. Oh, just thrown out of the way was a Tiger on that occasion, and that was
Zach Marshall.
Zach Marshall, who was that laid in. Free kick to him. A little bit clumsy there was Broadbent. Marshall looking for Goldsmith again. Can't take that mark. Touched over the line right in front of us here. We played a tick under 27 minutes in the second quarter. 8-5-53 to 3-1-19.
So boundary throw to take place. First quarter went 28-27. We're coming to the 27-minute mark now. Good boundary throw in. And Zach Smith putting for a free kick. Meanwhile, play went on. Carrigan down to Mullane.
Oh,
Smith
look out.
trouble. Back to Mullane. Needs to get clear. Over to Carrigan. The overlap is on. Ends up with Nice. Goes to Lawrence King there. It's just slightly worse than centre half forward. Immediately plays on. Lead is on Ellis Yeoman. As he pushed in the back as he went for it. He dropped what he should have taken anyway. Mackenzie Riddle driven into the ground and somehow didn't get a free kick. Coombs picks the ball up. He's ridden to the ground as well. And a bit of late second quarter action. Umpire in the end will just come in and throw the ball up.
Ellis Yeoman was aiming for every single part of young Mackenzie Riddle's body there on that tackle.
And advantage paid. Christian Webster looked around. The advantage was just there as Broadbent and also Zach Marshall do battle. Now it came off fingers. No, it's a lasso. It'll go to Broadbent. So Will Broadbent, front of the surface coach's box. Squares it off. Putting on all sorts of pressure there. It might have been Jones, but Lachlan Rook came in, took the mark. Goes in short, finds Charlie Rowe. Looking for a late scoring opportunity here, the Tigers.
Look out.
Kick, but just sat up and made it easy for the surface defence. Markov came in. Over to Mullane, looking for Snowball. Intercepted by Tommy Foon. Slung to the ground. Albie Jones is there. He's tackled well. Now a chance here for Labrador. Kick from Lee, but only finds Tarlance in the last line of defence for Surfers Paradise.
Jeez. Bit of ball movement there. Doran on this broadcast side takes the outstretched chest mark. Might want to try slowing this down towards half time. Don't need to do anything silly. Decides to go right in front of us here on this broadcast side. Going upwards, King. Coombs rode the pack. Got the handball away to a teammate. But we've got half time here, ladies and gents. 8-5-53 to 3-1-19. That quarter went for probably just over 29 minutes.
Correct.
And the Demons, though, putting the pressure right on, hit back in that second quarter, and they are leading. My math is absolutely shocking today, ladies and gents. We'll get back to the margin later, but Brownie, That was a pretty good second quarter from the D's.
Yes, added 4 goals 4 to 2 goals straight, so it's had that 34-point margin. Quickly before we go to the break here at half-time, Broadbeach 7-2-44 over Aspley 3-3-21. Noosa and Maroochydore, all the Battle of the Sunshine Coast, all tied up at 39 points apiece. Mount Gravatt quitting themselves quite well, just trail Redland Victoria Point by 21 points, 4-6-30. The Sharks are 8-3-51. Cooperoo 6-6-42 over Sherwood 3-2-20. And Morningside have broken the game open against Wilson Grange 7-10-52. And the Gorillas are 2-1-13. But half-time here at Benoa on the Gold Coast at Calibre Homes Oval. It's Surfers Paradise 8-5-53. And the Tigers 3-1-19. Back with the second half in a few minutes.
You need a strong team. At TPIL Lawyers, we rise above the pack. When it comes to your total and permanent disability and compensation claims, choose TPIL, the personal injury lawyers. TPIL Lawyers, proud partner of AFL Queensland.
AFL 9s, it's footy for best mates looking to be teammates.
Cardio fiends after a bit of competition.
Legends of the game. Looking at making a comeback.
There's footy for when your week's pretty cooked, or for fitting it in between classes.
It's footy!
It's footy.
It's footy.
It's footy for me. Okay, let's give them 60 minutes of skills, fitness and fun. And let's not forget about connection. We're talking safe, inclusive and modified rules, perfect for newcomers. Okay, super kick on 3.
1, 2, 3, super kick! Yeah!
Super fun, super safe, super inclusive. Super kick, tailor-made for 7 to 12-year-olds.
Football club is very, very important in this community. Without it, there's not much else to do in such a small town.
I do believe that there's so much more to sport than just winning.
If my story says anything, it's that you don't need the experience. Having the passion and having the want to see the young girls excel.
It's also, to me, a chance to give back to the community.
To find your more, visit play.afl/more to footy.
It's not just an Australian sport. There's a lot of countries that come over and create a home here that can also join in and play the sport to the fullest potential.
All the advice that you get given, it's really inspiring.
Being part of a football team is more than just a game. It's like a family.
To find your more, visit play.afl/more to footy.
And welcome back to Calibre Homes Oval here, Benoa on the Gold Coast, where players, umpires are back on the field for the second half. But Surfers Paradise hold a comfortable 34-point lead, 8-5-53 to the Tigers, 3-1-19. Goal kickers there for the Demons, 2 each to Harrison Fraser, kicked the first goal of the match, and Lucas Snowball. And then singles to Lawrence King, Samuel Jewell, Cam Ellis-Yeoman and Kane Gordon, all in the second quarter. And then for Labrador, their first goal of the game is the only goal in the first quarter, kicked by Aidan Fife. Then the second term, we had goals from Lachlan Rook and also Jake Goldsmith. So, Kay, plenty of work for Labrador to do in this third term. The weather still looking a bit iffy. We've been fortunate so far. And as I touch my head for, touch wood, hopefully that the rain will stay away. I looked at the radar, it wasn't looking too bad, but there are a couple of ominous clouds around, but certainly nothing like we saw this morning. But, of course, we are commemorating and remembering our tremendous servicemen and women and those who have gone before us, of course, on this ANZAC Day of football.
No, you're right, Brownie, and, I had a great-grandfather who actually served on the Western Front in the Great War, and also a great uncle who served in Papua New Guinea. So it's a bit close to home for the family this afternoon. Great, generally a really good celebration. Plenty of numbers still would have been out very early hours of this morning as that rain was tumbling down on the Gold Coast here. But that wind has definitely picked up since the first quarter and pre-game as well. So ominous conditions here at Surfers Paradise, but Surfers Paradise, it's all been the Demons in the first half, Brownie, and Labrador, a little bit like last week. Just avenues forward of centre to be able to kick a winning score, and they trail by the 34-point margin, and I'm not quite sure where they're going to get their goals from.
No, they need to find those targets inside like Surfers did in that second term, albeit they probably should be even further apart. Lawrence King missing a couple of opportunities there with set shots. But certainly, as we've touched on too, the last two meetings between these two clubs have both been here at this ground, and with Surfers Paradise outscoring Labrador 37 goals to only 13. So we'll see what Chris Rourke and Labrador team can do up against Sam Dwyer's Demons here in the second half. And interesting coming to the boundary for Surfers Paradise. It looks like we've got Lawrence King, also Josh Neas, Lucas Snowball starting on the boundary as well, and also Carrigan. Some of the better players, both teams in that first half, for Markov, Swallow. Don't have to go too far as the Surfers Paradise Demons were concerned. Harrison Fraser had a good first quarter, and Labrador, Billy Marshall's trying hard in the ruck. They've got Liam O'Day in there, Matt Lee's trying hard. But Jake Goldsmith presenting on the forward line.
Surprise, surprise. He's really the standout, isn't he, Goldsmith? He's been around footy for a long, long time for the Labrador Tigers. Had a bit of a break, decided to come back to help them out once again. And he's really been forward of centre. Brownie is we're just about ready to go for the second half.
Yeah, Marshall up against Zach Smith. Zach Smith takes it away. Arlo in the first quarter to Swallow. Immediately over the top here to Luxton. Luxton ran inside, delivers the ball inside 50. Meeting out there was Jewell. Back to Doran. Dawn swings around the right boot. Back to Swallow. Just immediately follow the ball down. Beautiful handball inside. Back to Luxton to follow the ball down. Here's a flying shot at goal. Misses though. But great work again, led by David Swallow out of the centre, and Zach Smith, the Gold Coast Suns connection, and first score of the second half, so minor one. Labrador being the ball out through Christian Webster.
Lee on this broadcast side wing, he's been pretty good this afternoon. Chips the ball up, looking for Coombs. That ball ain't going to stay in. It's a bit another lasso. They've probably had half a dozen of those on this broadcast side going against the Tigers.
Also the wind favouring, of course, this side of the ground. There's a few umbrellas starting to appear.
As the Tigers, good mark taken in defence there.
Webster.
By Webster. He's been pretty good this afternoon, Webster. I've liked the way he's gone about his craft this afternoon. Looking for Goldsmith. Another mark taken. He's probably had half a dozen. Where does he go from here, though? This is where they've been struggling. Across half forward, great spoil over the boundary line from Nice. And another boundary open, boundary throw in on this broadcast side.
Mentioned a few times not only the Gold Coast Suns connection, but quite a few Southport players, about half a dozen Southport in the VFL involved here. And Matty Primus here, the coach of Southport. Of course, they've got a bye this weekend. They've got a couple of big matches coming up against Footscray and Coburg at home. And if you are following the VFL, please note those games are at 10:30 over the next 2 Saturdays at Southport Sharks due to the airlines
and
the fuel crisis. So anyway, let's get back to the game here. It's still no addition, or just one behind to Surfers Paradise to their half-time score. Labrador moved the ball forward through Lee, looking for a forward target. Who's going to be at ground level? Hoy's in there hunting. Luxton under pressure last line. Got the kick away though. Good kick too. He found Beardsall down the halfback flank. Woodburn presents.
Look out.
A bit further on. Coming in late was Jaden Young. And anything down the ground. Young just continues on his way. Woodburn just cops another knock as he normally does. And beautiful pinpoint pass to Zach Smith, who immediately runs off. Ball comes rushing through the centre. Markov to Olman. Back to Markov. And Leggy Markov looking for the lead downfield as Kane Gordon attacked from behind. Luxton playing more forward role, but Gregory did well for Labrador. Over to Bailey Brown, but only as far as reliable Albie Jones, who immediately sends the ball back into attack. At the back was Gordon once again. Somehow the ball stayed in. Jewell picked the ball up, immediately tackled. It should be gone. No, held terms to the umpire. So a good tackle there by, might have been Mackenzie Riddle.
Kane Gordon's been the one for me since pushing forward. He's been brilliant since the start of the game.
Hayden wrapped up in a tackle. Again, the umpire throw the ball up. So 35-point lead to Surfers Paradise. 3.5 minutes played in the third term. TPIL Lawyers. Quick snap out of the pack and just through for another minor score. Who was that from, Zane? I was just momentarily distracted.
Not quite sure, actually.
Anyway, it wasn't a major one. So Labrador do the kicking duties. Another minor score to the Tigers.
Well, they've got to get a move on here through Young. Doran's seeing a mark. He's been very good, Doran. It's just about my best on ground so far today. Young, bit of an up and under kick. Coombs. Oh, great effort there. Got to ground level. Lee got the handball away to Foon. Foon back into the corridor. Works out okay. That's to Rook. He's been a little bit quieter. He's got a goal on the board. Chips the ball out wide. Very good defensive effort here from Surfers Paradise. Not allowing them anywhere to go forward. Young again. Trueston half back. Chips the ball into some space. Found a teammate. Got to be quick. And is. Here's a chance. Some ball movement. Liam O'Day. O'Day gets on the right foot. Really kicks to no one, though. And that's been the story of the tape for the Tigers this afternoon.
He had loose players there too, Goldsmith. But probably Goldsmith leading to the dead pocket probably was a mistake there. So Surfers able to defend now through Broadbent on the broadcast. Coach's box wing. Webster will fly from the side, so did Swallow. Smith ran straight a tackle of Rook. Carrigan was there, back to Swallow, back to McGuinness. Southport connection now goes to centre corridor, picked up beautifully that occasion by Minogue. Ball out to Luxton, getting plenty of the ball in this third term. Over the trusty left footer of Albie Jones. Now drives the ball forward as a target there. No, only as far as Mackenzie Riddle. Good defensive work again, now switches play. And here's Webster once again. And he's going to find Harry Sullivan.
Sullivan at half back. Woodburn staying the mark. Woodburn's earned every possession he's had this afternoon. Into Hayden. Hayden almost asking for the 50.
Lawrence King's just scared to move.
For the stand rule. Back to Webster. He's been a very good inclusion this afternoon. I like the way he's gone about his footy. Chips the ball to Young. True full-back position. Kick out wide. The other inclusion here, Mackenzie Riddle. Riddle back into the corridor. They're keeping possession here. They're maintaining possession. Not quite sure where to go, though. Sort of stuck on that outer side wing. Hoy. Back into the corridor again. They're definitely going backwards here. Labrador.
Tom Foon.
Foon chips the ball. They've been pretty precise.
Well, let's maintain possession. That's the key here.
Into hand to Nichols. Good on the lead. Great effort there. Mullane, second to it. Who's going to win possession here for the Tigers? Go on the left foot. I think that was a Falcon against Mullane. He got that ball right into his forehead.
It was Woodburn, in fact, yeah.
Swallow chips the ball. Looking for Fraser. Fraser's surrounded by Tigers here. Good effort by him. Swallow, you're not breaking that tackle. That's got to be gone. No, it's not.
He picked the ball up and tried to break the tackle, Tom Foon. Very fortunate to get away with that one as Swallow, he cannot believe it, Swallow. He's not getting the free kick. But anyway, the umpire made his decision. The ball tapped down to Charlie Rowe. Getting clearance, they do, through Bailey Brown. Ball kicked down towards the forward line. Fife, beautifully swept on by Lee to Goldsmith. Get the ball back to Lee on his wrong foot, though, forced to go back. Now Goldsmith has a pot shot, pushes everything. And out of bounce on the full. So they'll retrieve the ball. His supporters might retrieve that other footy there, Kane, and Southport will bring the ball back in. So a total of 7.5 minutes, no goals added by the team in this third term. Just a couple of behinds to Service Paradise. Looking to maintain their undefeated run. Of course, this is only their third game. Had the bye last week, even though this is round 4. ANZAC edition. High, up and under. Jewell, Ellis Ullman, Webster with the punch. Rowe was front and square. Did the crumbs beautifully. Got the ball down to Lachlan Rook. Already got a goal. Too far out to score. Again, kicking towards the dead pocket. Unable to find the pass, and Beardsall has taken the mark. You keep an eye on Billy Marshall, is slow to recover from that contest.
Sore,
That's not good news for the Tigers. In the meantime, I'll park the peepers over the other side and see what Service can do. In the front position, Doran. Ball knocked away. Luxton. Had the ball knocked out of it. Chance for Rook here. Lachlan Rook, he's already got one on the board. Blazes away, and he's got number 2. That's the way to do it. They forced the turnover, and Lachlan Rook pounced, and becomes the first multiple goal kicker for Labrador. Goal in the second, now a goal in the third quarter. 4-1-25, back to an even 5-goal margin. Surface Paradise 8-7-55, 9 minutes played third quarter.
Well, he was in the box seat there, wasn't he, Brownie? Rook rode the pack beautifully. McGuinness was around the mark as well. Couldn't get clean possession. And Rook rode clean hands, straight on the boot, over the goal umpire's hat. That's the one they desperately needed, the Tigers. 8-7-55. Back to that 5-goal margin. Labrador 4-1-25. 9.25 minutes played, third quarter. As
the Marshall's recovered, obviously.
Ball's back in the middle. He's on empty petrol tickets there, Marshall. Keep an eye on him. Little handball out, trying to get the clearance. Swallow again, he's had plenty of it. Gets on the right foot. Ellis Yeoman, unfortunately, got intercepted by Riddle. He was very good last week, Riddle, considering the amount of time that ball went inside defensive 50. That's not a great kick at all. Swallow putting the pressure on Hayden. Here's Marshall. Where's he going to go? Marshall puts on a Shepherd. Bit of a shirt front on Jewell. Play on to the umpire, and again turns the ball over. Doran slowing the play down. Finds Mullane on this broadcast side wing.
So Mullane wants to slow things down, and Marshall's recovered, doing a power of work. Got to contend with the ruck work. Now he's got to stand the mark here. Oh, Mullane got around his opponent. Quickly rushes off. The lead is on from Minot. Goes over his head. Kay Gregory chipping in. Woodburn looks like he's recovered from that knock. They switch the play out through Bailey Brown. Got a bit of space there, Brown, on the other side for the Tigers. But beautifully intercepted by Albie Jones. Backed himself, stood in front of Goldsmith. Took a strong mark to Jewell. Back to Doran. Getting everything at the moment. Over to Broadbent. It squares off and finds Billy Beardsall. Just short of the centre. So still a tight contest in this third quarter. Surface still yet to score a goal. Labrador put on one themselves as McGuinness is forced back.
Good kick.
Goes to centre corridor, and he found Neas. In turn, finds King. Smack bang in the middle. Oh, manhandled just as he's coming through. Looked for the 50, played for it. Ignored by the umpire. Demons go forward through Jewell. Now it's a marking contest. Oh, Gordon went up, almost pulled it down. Oh, Ellis Ullman bustled his way through. Point blank range. Minogue will go in. It's the open goal, and the Demons are finally on the board in this third quarter. Well-worked goal in the end. And once again, Labrador, well, they scored 2 goals in a row either side of the major half-time break, but in a quarter, they cannot get back-to-back goals, and the Demons able to respond. 9-7-61. Labrador 4-1-25. Margin back out to 36 points. Played 12 minutes the third quarter.
How good was Gordon's attack on the ball there? He hit the pack hard, probably got an arm chop in the end, was unlucky not to get the free kick. But again, those roving forward 50 players got their hands on the footy first, and Minogue just finished off the good work and got his first of the afternoon.
So, yeah, it took a while, but let's see what Labrador can do. If they can bounce back. Breeze might have just dropped down momentarily as well. Muddy centre. The players dive on top of it. Well, the umpire said will throw the ball up.
Marshall looks very sore indeed. He's working his backside off.
He got rid of Jewell on that occasion. Swings around the right boot to the open spaces, the far side. Bailey Brown's got a lead. Pushing the back surely there by Gordon. Round mistake from him, and Bailey Brown. It's been the bottom of most of his. Hasn't gone 15 surely. Umpire saw it that way. Jed Riddle. High up and under. At the back was Mercer. Liam O'Day does the crumbing. Has a shot. I was going to bounce in favour of Zach Marshall. His toe poked it, or has Fife done it? No, neither of them have. How did Zach miss that? His eyes lit up. In the end, a minor score there for the Tigers when should be putting down 6 points, only put down 1 cane.
Geez, that's like my golf swing, Brownie. Nowhere near the footy on that occasion.
As the ball comes out, Labrador. Webster from the back line. He'll have a ping from outside 50 and just favours the wrong side. Aidan Fife just looks up, arms out saying, look, I led to the pocket. You ignored me. Minor score. Play goes on. Albie Jones to the back line for Surfers Paradise. 1-on-1 contest, and Minogue will take the mark.
Well, they're peppering away the last couple of minutes to the Tigers. You'd hate for the ball just to go down and Surfers get another goal as that ball gets punched over the boundary line on that outer side. 14 minutes played third quarter, 9-7-61 to 4-3-27. As Mullane comes back on the ground for the D's.
Good crowd in attendance as there normally is here. Of course, some parts of Australia, a long weekend for this ANZAC Day, but not in this part of the world. Lee tried to bustle his way through down to Bailey Brown. High, up and under. There's a target there. All being held was Hayden. Got away with it. Now there's Albie Jones. Beautifully ducked around the opponent. Gets that trusty left foot. Delivers it beautifully to Doran, who has been in everything, as you're right, has been saying, Kane. Short to Carrigan. Marshall stands the mark. For the Demons now favour the broadcast side. King went up, was interfered with. He was by Jaden Young. Young just holds his hip there. He's come off second best that contest. He wants to come off, in fact. Left snowball all by himself. Lead is on. And the mark's been taken by Minogue.
He looks very sore, Young. He just came down, you're right, Browning. So it looked like a bit of a hip issue more than anything, lower back.
Yeah, just got into King at the wrong time. So Josh Minogue, this will test his accuracy here. Of course, he got the goal, the only goal so far for Surfers a few moments ago. This one a set shot. 45 out, 45-degree angle. Camera right behind the kick here, kicking towards the Ashmore-Narang Road end. Got to allow for a bit of breeze.
Look at that.
And he does. Straight over the goal umpire's head. Zane Matthews will signal a 6-pointer there for Minogue. He brings up the second this term. For the Demons, second this term as well. And now the biggest lead of the game, or virtually the biggest lead of the game, 40 points. 10-7-67 over Labrador, 4-3-27. 16 minutes played third quarter. Labrador into double figures in the goals column.
And that's the thing.
Surface, I should say.
And that's the thing, Brandon. Guys like Snowball, you just can't give them an inch of space. And unfortunately, Young came off second best in that contest. Snowball was just casually able to run inside, sort of 70 metres out, and hit Minogue, lace out on the lead. And that was an absolutely brilliant kick from Minogue from where he was with the conditions this afternoon.
So Play about to be resumed in the centre. Zach Smith, it's a tireless Billy Marshall, who fell down the mud heap then, as did Hoy, as did Lee for Labrador. Someone to keep their feet. Liam O'Day did. Got the kick away to the right forward pocket. Chase is on out wide. Ball beats all comers over the boundary line for the throw in. Broadbeach looking good for another victory. They're 45-point lead over Astley at the moment.
Ooh.
They're down the road at Broadbeach. Battle of the Sunshine Coast. Maroochydore narrow 9-point lead over Noosa. RVP 40 points over the Vultures. Cooperoo looking good. They're 31-point lead over Sherwood. And likewise Morningside 60-point lead over Wilston Grange.
Smith and Goldsmith were in the ruck. No clear winner on that occasion. Umpire blew the whistle fairly quickly. Not sure if it's a free kick or a stoppage. Looks like it's going to be a stoppage. So Marshall, Goldsmith and Smith back in the rucks. Smith with the height advantage. Taps it down beautifully to Malone. He got slung out of bounds.
Lachlan Rook looking for the lasso there, but it might be inside the 50 on that.
Yes, it is.
This time, but there's the wettest part of the ground after a deluge earlier this morning. But fortunately, the rain holding off, and see a bit of blue sky in the distance, which is encouraging there, Kane.
Ball back into the contest here. Goldsmith got the tap out on that occasion, but unfortunately straight to Service Paradise. Bit of a shove in the back. Play on, said the umpire. Labrador rove at first. Round the corner on the left foot into a bit of an open space. Who's this for the Tigers? Here's a chance for 8 and 5. Unfortunately can't bring it back enough. Another minor score. So they close the margin 39 points in favour of the Demons.
1-3 to 2-2 so far in this term. They've done plenty of attacking, but again aren't able to convert as the Demons break away on the outer wing side. Looking for Lawrence King. He's got Jed Riddles to contend with, but Riddles sends him to the ground. And umpire will come in and throw the ball up.
Jiggs Webster was desperately trying to get across there to help his teammate out. Didn't need him on that occasion.
The ball thrown up. Marshall from behind, looking for Hoy. He dived in afterwards. Again, players down at ground level, can't get it clear. Popular parking spot on that outer side. Charlie Rowe involved there with the Demons skipper there in Doran. Umpire's forced to pick the ball up himself. Throw the ball up. Marshall forced to lunge at it and to keep it in play. Well, he did. I think he thought he kept it out as Mullane's disposed by Marshall. This time the boundary umpire will throw the ball in. So a bit of a stagnant bit of play at the moment. Stuck on that outer side between wing and half forward. 39-point lead to Surface Paradise. Last two times they played Labrador here have been comfortable victories for them. Smith took it off the back to Woodburn. Got the kick away. Now to centre half forward. Tap on. A chance for Carrigan here. Can't escape the tackle of Tommy Foon, though. Got the ball to Gordon. Running his Harrison Fraser. Lobbed this end to the ground. Swings it back beautifully, and Fraser's got his third. All his 3 goals at that Ashmore Nerang Road end, the southern end here at Calibre Homes Oval. 2 in the first term, gets a goal in the third, and Service Paradise extend the lead to 45 points now. 11-7-73. Labrador stuck on 4-4-28, and that's what happens, Kane. They do a bit of attacking. The Tigers goes at the other end. Surface showing their class on that occasion through Harrison Fraser.
Well, just clean hands and just desperately trying to keep the ball going in their direction in that play. And Fraser handled the ball a couple of times. Gordon again hit the pack hard, got the handball out. And Fraser, well, he was never going to miss from there. 3 goals on the board for him. And again, like you say, Brandy, the Demons extend the lead and the Tigers back to chasing. As Smith got the clearance from the tap out. Doran couldn't impact the contest there. Riddle out wide. Marshall.
That's all he needs to do is just run after a ball after all the work he's done.
He just gets pushed off by Smith, unfortunately. Now the Demons are going back into attack. Can't keep the ball in, though. You'd almost say Marshall's their best player on the ground at the moment. You can't fault his effort. He's been brilliant for the Tigers. He hasn't had a lot of backup, though, unfortunately. The Demons have been too good this afternoon so far.
Goldsmith's done a bit of the rucking, but he's needed down forward. The player they are missing in defence is Tom Miller today, their vice-captain.
Yes, you're definitely right. Woodburn rode the tap, decides to go backwards to half-back. Now looking for some open space through the corridor. Looking for Fraser. Couldn't claim the mark on that occasion. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Where do they go? True centre forward, looking for Goldsmith. Goldsmith to Hoy. Hoy back to Goldsmith. Found a teammate now on the right foot. Leans back. Oh, just offline. Harry Sullivan slams it into the woodwork.
So off target. Needed the 6 points. Labrador. Surfers Paradise favouring that outer side.
Oh,
kicking duties there from Albie Jones, a rare mistake.
Shocking kick.
Zach Marshall there has taken the mark. Had a ping earlier. And of course he had missed that one right from point blank range. How he missed it was still a bit bemused by. Let's see what I can do here. Was a late inclusion. Comes in with the left foot. There's a wind going to bring it around. Oh, great defensive work by Broadbent, but perhaps should have been more yellow and black jumpers in there. That's another minus score. And now Surfers. No. And this time beautifully intercepted, and it's hit the post, Zach Marshall.
Yep.
We've had 2 pings for 2 behinds in a space of 30 seconds. So struggling to get the on the board.
He had all the time in the world. He took the intercept mark and decided to play on immediately as Aiden Fife in the front spot. Good mark taken there by Foon. Foon to half forward, and again the server defence working really well. Broadbent slams that ball over the boundary line.
So approaching the 24-minute mark. 3 goals to 1 in this term. So the Demons extend that lead, now 42 points. So what's the throw there? No, umpire said it was all right. Mark off, tackle, a bit quieter this term, over to Woodburn. Turn to Broadbent, now Albie Jones. And this time they find the target out wide. This time it's Luxton. So spent forward, now switches play across the face of goal. Finds the Southport player in McGuinness, and he'll go short. And being chopped off there was Leah Campsey. Hoy, now they're running Sullivan. Will he have a ping? Sets the top of the square. There's got to be someone home for Labrador now. That's Goldsmith, and he makes no mistake. That's better work there by the Tigers. Goldsmith, he picks up his second to join Lachlan Rook on 2 goals for the visitors. And march back to 36 points. Labrador 5-7-37. Service Paradise 11-7-73. Coming up to 25 minutes played, third quarter.
Charlie Rowe was absolutely brilliant on the boundary line. Mate, he in the contest, I didn't think he was going to get there at all. Stretched out, worked his backside off to get to the contest, impacted it well, maintained possession and set up that goal, eventually to Goldsmith. Great play by the Tigers.
So this is the big test for them. Can they go back-to-back in the quarter, though, with goals? Surfers have spoiled them at every previous opportunity. And again, Marshall couldn't reach the ball. Smith just grabbed the ball and kept on running. Looking for Cam Ellis-Yeoman. Taken away by Jaden Young. He's recovered from that little knock on the hip earlier. Out to the running Gregory. Kay Gregory now looking for a teammate out wide. Can't do so, so I'm going to have a lasso. Free kick there to Surfers Paradise on the opposite wing.
D's looking to go back into attack, kicking towards half forward. Woodburn over his head, unfortunately. Now here's a chance for the Tigers to go through the corridor. Zach Smith, big fella, great intercept to Woodburn. Woodburn ends up with Jordan. Ellis-Yeoman got on the right foot, chips around the corner, diving attempt to the mark. They've still got the numbers here. The D snap on goal. Minus score, pushed it too far to the left.
There's Markov.
He's
Leggy
looking,
missed it.
He's looking for that first goal on debut. Matty McGuinness making his debut for the D's today as well, as the Tigers look to come out of trouble once more.
Reece Nichols with the sit and waited for Zach Smith to go up. Marshall at the back. Billy, he keeps on running. He's tireless, this Labrador ruckman. Now he's found the target, finds Goldsmith. Bit of support piping up for the Tigers now. They need it. Need back-to-back goals here. Short kick on. No one home. Ball's a chance now. Zach Marshall, can he get one now? Will he bring it back? He does. It bounces through. Back-to-back goals for Tigers. And there's a bit of life in the yellow and black at the moment. Zach Marshall, he finally brings up his first. Reminder, it was a late inclusion. They pick up their third goal for the quarter. Move on to 6-7-43. Matching it with the Demons, who are 11-8-74. 27 minutes played, third quarter.
Well, I tell you, he's had 4 shots on goal in the last probably 4 minutes, Marshall. He finally got one on the board.
And they finally go back-to-back.
But again, just the work rate from the Tigers again on that occasion. Desperation was the key. Ended up back in the hands of Marshall, and he finished off the great work. But again, you know, they finished so well the last couple of weeks in their games. They've kicked 10 goals in the last quarters. Can they get close enough to really impact this contest going into three-quarter time?
Sullivan, he does get the clearance. They go down there. They needed the mark ball. The back there of Goldsmith. Rook comes up. Little toe poke forward. Lee's there. He's pushed out of the way. And he'll get the ball back, though. Lee, need a skipper's goal. And Goldsmith at the back. Couldn't take the mark. Broadbent. All of a sudden, the Demons' defence is under pressure. The reliable Albie Jones, though, clears it. Looking there for Gordon. Back to Luxton. Takes a quick bounce. Can probably take another if he wants. Elects to kick along the outer side. No one home. Ball didn't favour Foon or Webster. Labrador can still up with it. Or Marshall. Tackle from behind. Watch out. He's gone.
Jeez.
Guess who? D Swallow. Must have laid over a dozen tackles so far today. Squares off. He finds Mullane smack in the middle of Calibre Homes Oval.
Mullane. They need to get that goal back, the Demons. They've let a couple through in this quarter. That kick's not great. Playing in front. Woodburn rode the pack beautifully. Good tackle laid on the last line. So here's an opportunity for the Demons. Look for Fraser. Look for Woodburn. Look for Ellis Yeoman in the ruck.
There's Swallow too.
Swallow. Ellis Yeoman looking for Swallow.
Riddle did well.
Riddle. Looking for Coombs and Hoy. Here's a chance for the D's, though. Back to Coombs, intercepts. Right in the middle of the ground, 2-on-1. No one can clear where on that occasion. Jewell could have given away the free kick. Doran kicks the half forward. Woodburn again. Gets on the trusty right foot. Kicks to the true centre half forward. Again. Where are the Tigers? Tigers going backwards before they go forwards. Handball off worked okay. They've got to think their way through this. Trying to use a handball, and that handball's gone out, but it's not going to be a lasso because it got touched on the line by a Demon.
Yeah, under pressure there, Tom Foon, Jaden Young. But at least, they're having a word here. Umpires conference. No lasso. It'll be a boundary throw in. Right underneath the scoreboard. No trouble with the sunlight this afternoon. Longest quarter of the match so far. Gone over 30 minutes. 31-point lead, as you can see there, to Service Paradise. But Labrador showing a bit of fight in the last 10 minutes. Well done by Jay Foon. Got the ball to the centre. Running onto it, though, is Beardsall. The dangerous Billy. Kicks the ball forward. King overran it. Labrador now under pressure. Woodburn's there. Put the head over the ball. Picks the ball up.
No way.
Has the snapshot of the siren. I think Betty's got it. As I talk over the siren, it's bounced through Woodburn. And the Labrador players can't believe it. But he scored a goal, as you heard, right on the siren for three-quarter time. And they have been very symmetrical, the Demons. That's 4 goals in each of the 3 quarters so far to be 12-8-80 and hold a 37-point lead heading into the final term. 6-7-43 Labrador. That quarter going right on 31 minutes. Quickly, the goal kick is for you. 3 to Harrison Fraser for the home team. 2 each to Lucas Snowball and Josh Minogue. Both those goals in the third quarter for Minogue. Singles to Woodburn, as you just saw then. Lawrence King, Sammy Jewell, Cam Ellis-Yeoman and also Kane Gordon. And for Labrador, 2 goals each to Lachlan Rook and Jake Goldsmith, and singles to Aidan Fife and Zach Marshall. But three-quarter time, surface holder handy.
More, visit play.afl/more to footy.
So the umpire holds the ball aloft. Labrador, I'd love the first couple of goals here. As Marshall kicks the ball off the ground. It's been tireless in the ruck today. Ball is sent out wide from Charlie Rowe. Looking out there for Harry Sullivan. Couldn't quite trap it though. And Surface can rebound. Harrison Fraser caught behind his man. Allows Luke Coombs in. Then Webster. Webster get the ball back. He's got a player out wide. And wants to go direct. Instead goes to half-forward flank. Beardsall's got to show courage to go back to fly the ball. Take the Now, late was Marshall. Ready for the doubt there as Matt Hoy was standing in the mark, and he's such a courageous player, the BB.
Billy Beardsall's arguably in my top 3 this afternoon. He's been absolutely brilliant in that contest there. A bit dangerous for my liking. Mullane dived on it, got his jumper ripped off his head as well, but that kick's out on the full.
Bailey Brown.
From Bailey Brown.
The other BB.
The other BB. Thank you very much. Yeah. BB's all over the place this afternoon, ladies and gents. There's
Albie Jones.
Albie Jones will take this kick. Bit of an up and under. This guy's been really
better
solid.
after half-time, Webster. But he slipped, and umpire called him to play on. Back to Jaden Young. So Tigers are forced to go backwards instead of forwards. At least they retain possession. Charlie Rowe and Young offering leads once again. And the Rowe option is chosen. Another one of the Southport representatives. At least six of them playing for the 2 clubs this afternoon. Right underneath us here. Marshall kept away from the ball. Swallow went in. Has been paid the mark. Possession well and truly in the 20s there for number 10. Interesting, he could have played for the Suns reserves tomorrow in the VFL. Elected to play this game this afternoon. Size kick, as per usual, finds a snowball.
Depth kick to Snowball was brilliant from Swallow. He's been lively against Snowball. Gets absolutely poleaxed after kicking the footy.
I don't think it was that. Well, the players are remonstrating about it, but the free kick was definitely there. It'll go downfield, and Ellis Yolmer wants to claim it. So does Zach Smith, who's going to end up with it. Big number 2.
Bit of frustration from Charlie Rowe. He's been really good for the Tigers again this afternoon, but that one was very disappointing. And the big fella, Zach Smith, he's going to try and kick around the corner here.
He doesn't need to. Just drop punt to the right-hand goal post. That's all he needs. Might be too severe with his kick.
Oh, look at that.
Too severe, as I said.
Well, I must admit, Brownie, it's the most... I detest...
Hate's a strong word.
I detest players kicking around the corner like that.
Probably how far out too. Anyway, ball back into play. Almost a good juggling mark there by Nias on the outer side. Not paid. Umpire will come and throw the ball up.
And the ruckmen have enough trouble getting that ball from hand to foot. Takes a long period of time.
So 3 minutes played in the final term. 38-point lead to Service Paradise. Labrador. Love to see the ball at the other end. Can they get one going, the Tigers? In the way. Can Lacey goes short, finds Zach Smith. No way Harry Sullivan's going to spoil him. Would have been 50. Doran, he might be distracted by... It sounded like a secondary whistle there. I thought the umpire was going to pay 50 in the end. Matt Hoy picked the ball up, looking for Coombs, wearing the number 2 today. And finding space here is Bailey Brown, and all by himself in the goal square. It's Zach Marshall, and so good work. Finally, the Labrador forwards had a bit of space, and Zach Marshall can go back, and he can try and get his second on the board.
Well, Brown just found some open space here on the broadcast side. Quite a bit of a disruption with players going on and off the ground.
Started with Matt Hoy.
You're right.
So Marshall comes in front of the Surface members. Strange kicking action, and hasn't allowed enough there, just through for a minor score. So I'm going for about 1 goal, 3, should have at least 2 goals after missing that toe poke in the third quarter.
There was 4 feet that tried to kick that ball in that third quarter, Brownie, and not one of them made contact.
37-point lead to Surface, 4.5 minutes played, final term.
There's D's looking to come out of trouble again. This guy's been very good again this afternoon, Albie Jones, the general down there. Markov, very good on debut. Oh, good contested mark there. Taken by Minogue. Minogue back in the middle of the ground to Swallow. Swallow found a teammate. Bit of a clumsy effort after the kick was made. Play on said the umpire. Looking for King. Snowball ducked ahead. Play on said the umpire. Give it to me. That ball's not going anywhere.
Great tackle there by Luke Coombs, imposing himself in that contest.
Looks like Marshall won the tap out on that occasion. That little hack kick didn't go to the 15. Play on said the umpire. A little chip kick out of this broadcast side. King just gives a shove over the boundary line. Boundary throw in.
As will be straight off after the final siren goes here, Kane. Looks like Morningside have a comfortable victory over Wilston Grange. Of course, Jake Fazeldine for the Gorillas, playing for the Brisbane Lions in the VFL, so they're probably missing him at the moment, the Gorillas.
He's been brilliant the last 18 months to 2 years, Fazeldine.
So guess who? Swallow. Beautifully rode off the pack. Found a teammate running past. Tackled. No prize to the umpire. Tackled by Liam O'Day. Another tackling machine for Labrador. And it was on Doran. The umpire just throws the ball up. Smith bundled away by Marshall. Doran in again. Markov tries to bully his way through. He's tackled to the ground. Some other scores. Cooperoo looks like they'll break through for their first win. A 10-goal lead over Sherwood at the moment. Maroochydore and Noosa, tight battle of the Sunshine Coast. 8-point lead to the Roos at the moment. As finally a holding the ball decision goes away of the Tigers. And Broadbeach comfortable, almost 40-point lead over Aspley as Palm Beach have the bye this weekend.
Smith trying to break through about 16 tackles there and finally got pinned for one. As Spoon ends up with it right on the interchange area for the Tigers. Comes back in board, the 45. Charlie Rowe, he's been one of the best for the Tigers this afternoon. To Hayden. Hayden looking for Rowe again. Foon, good attack on the footy. Kicks to half forward, 1-on-1 here. Oh, great effort. Beardsell. He's just about best on ground for me this afternoon. He's been absolutely brilliant.
Played on to Luxton there, sorry. You go,
chips the ball over to Luxton. Interrupted in translation there between me and Brownie. Kick back in board from the Tigers. And McGuinness, all on his own, at half-back, takes an easy chest mark.
So they're repelling the attacks at the moment. The Demons, snowball down from the forward line. Got the ball back to McGuinness. They've got a few left footers in this team. Well, he's my best man on the ground, Swallow. Just been on everything. Tackles, setting up plays, intercept marks. Over to Fraser. Kicked the first goal of the match for Surface. Dives into the forward line. No one home. And that will be a boundary throw as it's inside 50.
No, you're probably right, Brownie. It's a... Yeah, I must admit, I'd probably give the chocolates to Swallow this afternoon, but Billy Beardsell would be a close second for me.
Zach's having a rest. What's Billy Marshall doing? He's probably still staying out there.
His limbs will be hanging on for dear life, Brownie. He's been brilliant for the Tigers this afternoon.
Boundary throw in, he's in there. He might get the ball yet. Doran did. Over to Swallow. This would be the icing on the cake for D. Swallow. I tell you what, just touched on the line as the breeze was bringing it back. That would have been the icing on the cake for his day-to-day minor score for Surfer. So a couple of behinds to each of the teams in this final term.
Look out.
The Demons still have it by 38 points, but Labrador trying to plan an attack off the half-back line. Ball go over the top. Reece Nichols showing courage. Immediately played on. Finds Mercer. And a little kick over the top. And diving is Jake Goldsmith. 2 goals so far this afternoon. Long way from home. Is there a marking target up there? Marshall's gone down, no one home. And relishing his play back from Southport, McGuinness takes the mark as Swallow takes a well-deserved break.
Well, it's where, the Tigers have just been a bit clumsy, basically from centre wing to half forward all afternoon. They just haven't got many targets.
So Woodburn's just come on here from the interchange bench. He found space.
Look out.
He'll get it just in time before Webster came across. There were 3 Tigers about to devour a demon there, but Woodburn was good enough. Lays it off. Must have been taken by Fraser. Swings around. Cam Ellis. Oh, he misjudged it. Ran right underneath the ball. Ends up with Matt Hoy.
Here's a chance for the Tigers to go back into attack on that outer side. Oh, they've got a mountain of room to move here. 8 and 5 takes a bounce, takes a second, lines up, left foot, and misses everything.
Well, he's been screaming for the ball all afternoon, Aidan Fife. He got a goal earlier, in fact, the first goal for Labrador in the first term. And he finally had some space. I think his eyes lit up, Kane, and didn't take the full advantage.
Well, he could have taken another bounce. He had a ton of space to work into, but unfortunately, just mistimed it as Goldsmith gets on the right foot. Snap on goal, it's home. Gave his opponent a shove in the ruck. He's kicked 3 this afternoon as Goldsmith, so he adds to the goal-kicking tally.
A little bit closer than that goal in the second term, which bounced about 10 metres before going through, but similar. Snapped the ball out of the ruck and snapped truly. So valuable goal to the Tigers, margin back to 32 points, but can they close that margin even further? As Jay Foon now comes on, trying to add a bit of spice to that centre. Zach Marshall goes to the forward line.
Well, Foon's been good this afternoon. Again, has been pretty consistent for him this afternoon, the Tigers. You know, the top 2 or 3 really put a good effort in, but it's looking for the next 5 or 6. Where does that come from? They've been lacking for them in the first few weeks of the season, unfortunately.
That first goal of the quarter took 11 and a half minutes. And Labrador have kicked the first goal of the quarter for the last 3. But can they go back-to-back as Woodburn gets a clearance? Markov, well intercepted as Harry Sullivan kicked the ball forward. Rook is there, and coming out was Goldsmith, was interfered with by Tarleton. Umpire called play on. Mullane strongly tackled by Reece Nichols. Umpire called play on. Jewell under pressure. Labrador showing a bit of intensity here. Odatis ran the ball at the wrong time, and in the process was holding Woodburn, who's coming to the game certainly in the second half. Benny Woodburn with that incredible goal right on three-quarter time. Well, that proved vital. Tom Foon got the ball back to Jaden Young. Eludes the Jones tackle. I should say the Kane Gordon tackle. Now runs out of defence. No one home, though. Here's Albie Jones to take the relieving mark right in front of us. And what's that? There's shadows. Must be sunshine, Kane Browning.
Jeez, don't need the lights. Did someone turn the headlights on behind us here? Service Paradise. Nice at centre-half back. Albie Jones was screaming for it. McGuinness.
Told you that rain would stay away, Kane. Oh, nothing to fear.
Is just holding on, and you're right, Brownie. It's really starting to clear up. That sunshine, I'm sure, is nice out on the ground. Mullane looking for King back in the middle of the ground. Decided to find a teammate in Liakamchi. Liakamchi again. Bit uncertain. Finds the middle of the ground, Carrigan. Carrigan could have turned the ball over. Play on, says the umpire, and going to have a ball up.
So coming up to 13.5-minute mark. Still a 32-point lead to Surfers Paradise. Led by 18 points at the first break. 34 at half-time. So since then it's been pretty evenly matched. But Labrador with the work to do. And these are the things that Coach Chris Rourke was talking about. Labrador are going to take the extra step to try and take on these more powerful clubs that are generally entrenched in the top 4, clubs like Surfers Paradise and Palm Beach last week. And they're just lacking a little bit of polish and finish. Just like today, as Beardsall once again wraps it up from the back line. As Carrigan couldn't get it clear. Jewell, Carrigan got it back to Woodburn. Little chip kick to Markov. Couldn't find the target. Doran's there, though. Markov might get it back here. Luxton, we tried to break 2 tackles. He has to be gone, surely. He is.
Markov was running into an open goal. He was screaming for it.
Guess who? It was Liam O'Day again. Their best tackler. Reece Nichols from the back line. Over to Bailey Brown. Little left foot chip kick finds Jay Foon. Working along his kick. A tie-looking kick there by Foon. Hoy couldn't keep it in. No, he stopped thinking it was going to go out. Mullane didn't. He kept on going. Back to Beardsall. Another possession off that half back line. And Nichols, or Gregory it was, almost interfered with. As the spectators for the first time on that eastern side of the ground looking into the western sun, got to shield their eyes for the first time this afternoon.
Jeez, again, the sun's shining now. Marshall with a bit of an up and under attempt at a kick. Didn't get the ball on boot at all. Woodburn's around the mark again. He's going to have 10 tonnes of ice on his body this afternoon, Benny Woodburn. There won't be much flesh left to put any ice on. He's been belted from pillar to post. Almost got belted on that occasion as well. He might end up with it here. Woodburn lays the tackle. Great effort by the young man.
Let's keep an eye on that. You keep an eye on the players. Keep an eye on the closest game of the day, which seems to be on the Sunshine Coast between the co-tenants, if you like, Noosa and Maroochydore.
Marshall beat Jewel in that ruck contest. Labrador trying to create some... Oh, looks like that's a push in the back. So free kick to the Tigers. Can they get another one on the board here? Decides to play on quickly. They got a little bit of an overlap with their smart bow, looking for Hoy. Hoy got the ball on the right foot, but again, instant turnover. Tarlington intercepts. And he's going to come back from the back pocket. Chips across to Liakamchi. Liakamchi kicks the ball, surrounded by Tigers. Good mark taken there by Luxton. Luxton, snowball, he just came on the ground. As Doran comes off the ground, Swallow comes back on. Jeez, that's a luxury when you send Doran off and bring a guy like David Swallow on. As Snowball's handled the ball 2 or 3 times, Zach Smith comes back on the ground. Handball over the top. A little up and under kick hasn't worked at all. Coombs was trying to intercept. He might still end up with it. Marshall laid a good shepherd. That's gone. Play on, says the umpire, though. Ellis Yeoman couldn't lay the tackle. Handball out to Gregory. And that kick is going out on the full.
Bailey Brown and Maroochydore kicked 3 goals in the last quarter. And Noosa yet to score a goal, so they've broken the game openly.
Shocking kick from McGuinness. They got some time now. Beardsell steps on the gas. No, it's Snowball, but that's too far. Foon might take advantage. No, he won't. So the ball's going to come back to Reece Nichols. Nichols now gets on the left, and again, it's been the story of the day.
Plenty of intercept marks on both teams, haven't they? Trying to judge this win.
Half forward has been shocking for the Tigers this afternoon. So they look to go back into attack. They've switched the ball out to that outer side. Kick down the line, really to no one. Is the ball going to stay in? Swallow tracking it, couldn't lay the pressure on. The Tigers rebounding. Neese is across there for the Demons, forces the ball out from Coombs. Boundary throw in.
Well, at least Labrador have kept surface goalless so far in this final term. Margin 32 points. So as I said, it was 34 at the main break. So they kicked 4 goals apiece since the half-time break.
Oh, Smith.
So he got the ball down. Guess who? Doran. Back to Woodburn. Just waxing between the two of them. Doran got the disposal before being tackled by Marshall. The ball does go out of bounds. So Smith and Billy Marshall do battle again. Right, the true centre wing on the outer side here. Now at a sun-drenched Calibre Homes Oval.
Who'd be your top 3, Brownie? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, look, I'd give 3 Swallow, 2 Doran, and 1 to O'Day. Been tried hard for the Tigers, so just to give a Tigers player in there, but we've had numerous good players leaving out the likes of Beardsell. Woodburn's been good after half-time. Albie Jones.
Markov in his first game's been pretty good as well.
Yeah, it was good first half. Been required the second half. Gregory's tried hard too for the Tigers off the defence. Bailey Brown to Charlie Rowe. Foon. And back to Rourke over the back. Billy Beardsell, player we just mentioned. Coombs going back to the fly of the ball. Had to show courage. Couldn't quite take the mark as Carrigan came in. He's disposed of by Riddle. Here's Fife. Now on the broadcast wing. Will go into the shade. Kick is on and just beating Sam Mercer. Some good work there from Leah Campsey. Got the ball moving forward to Snowball. Back to Swallow. No, he chooses the Carrigan option. Carrigan, one-on-one contest down there, but reading it better was Jaden Young. Takes the leaving mark. Labrador or risky kicks with a small hoy. Over the back was Mullane. Allows the skipper in Doran. Doesn't go for goal. Elects to go for the short pass. And leading out there to the right side of the ground. And that is Gordon.
Well,
so Kane Gordon will go back and have a set shot to kick a goal. The same end in the second term. And we'll have a set shot here.
Well, let you, Brownie, take a breath. But Kane Gordon's been another one, really consistent this afternoon. Started down back, ended up forward. He's been a real menace for the Tigers' defence in the since quarter time. As Gordon leans back on the left. Might have pushed that just to the left-hand side. Yes, he has. Minor score. 12-11-83, 33-point margin. Tigers 7-8-50. Played a tick over 21 minutes, final quarter. And geez, what a beautiful day for footy all of a sudden. A bit of a breeze and the sun's out.
Never in doubt, as we mentioned there.
A Swallow.
So women's match will follow, be played hopefully in fine conditions, which would be good.
Swallow back into attack, looking for Alice Yeoman with the juggle. Couldn't get the clean possession. Lays a pretty solid tackle though. And the Tigers defend pretty well. Now into some open space. Here's the foot race. Zach Smith got shoved off the contest. Not too bad. Lee. Oh, Marshall, brilliant there.
Oh,
Charlie Rowe got absolutely smoked by, guess who? David Swallow.
He took the advantage, and Swallow's probably about his 13th tackle at least this afternoon. Rowe tried to do the right thing, but he got swallowed up.
He's been a whale this afternoon as far as tackling is concerned, swallowing up everything anywhere near him. As that ball gets pushed across to the true fullback position, McGuinness to Doran. Doran slowing the play down, kicks up the line, just over the outstretched hands of a teammate. Here's a chance for the Tigers to rebound, kick back inside, attacking 50. That's better. Not quite sure who that one is over there, Brownie. My eyes are deceiving me.
Jay Foon.
Jay Foon. Well, this will be a reward for effort. He's been one of their best this afternoon, Foon. 12-11-83. Can he close the margin? 33 points at the moment. Can he bring it back to 27? Foon on the right. Leans back. Umpire had to do a little bit of work, but it's there. He's kicked one. That's his first of the afternoon.
And Labrador have kicked the only 2 goals so far in this final term. The 11-minute mark and that one there at the 23-minute mark. So good work by the Tigers. But they'll finish agonisingly short. They finished strongly last week, of course. They were 40 points down. Got within 19 points at the end. Today, again, down 40 points. They've closed that margin back to 27.
Yeah,
so frustrating for the coach. Obviously, the ability's there. There's no doubting their tenacity or their intensity around the ball. They're trying hard. They're just missing that polish and just allowed Surface to get off that quick start in the first half.
They just couldn't get the ascendancy back in those second and third quarters, Labrador, unfortunately, and the Demons had their way with them over that period of time as the big fella Smith playing a bit of a soccer at the moment. He doesn't want to pick the ball up. He's a bit tired. Beardsell intercepts, but the free kick's found going back to Smith. No, Doran.
I'll point the other way there for a moment.
I must admit, I think Doran has been a bit quieter after half-time. He was in my best 3 in the first half. That ball gets over the back. No one really at home for the Demons. First on the wood is Gregory. Gregory putting the afterburner on. The don't argue as well. Gets on the right foot. Found a teammate out on that outer side. Five across. Where do they go? Truce enough forward. Oh, the sea opened up there. O'Day kicks to the pocket. 1-on-1. Great juggling attempt. Play on, said the umpire. Could have just about paid the mark. Good tackling pressure there from the Demons through Nice.
Reece Nichols down there now.
And that ball's being held up. So here's another opportunity for another Tigers goal.
So Smith and Jake Goldsmith do battle. Little toe poke kick from Charlie Rowe was ineffective. Ball clears the defensive 50. Woodburn with time. Spun around, got the handball out to Mullane. Being chased down by Hayden. So Mullane doubles back. Woodburn kept on running. Receives the handball. Attempted the barrel. Falls straight in the arms of Mackenzie Riddle. Riddle goes backwards and finds Jaden Young. We're now over 25 and a half minutes played. Through the centre. That's more direct football from Labrador. Webster. He's got Luke Coombs by himself right in front of us here. Broadcast side. Coombs, can he find a target? It's not a bad looking kick, but punched away by McGuinness. Leads the pressure for the Demons. Looking pretty good, approaching full time. 27-point lead while we have a moment because we're going to be off right on the stroke of the final siren. So Beck's done a great job as per usual on the camera. Kane Browning, always good working with you once again.
Thank you, Brownie.
Andrew Brown, yours truly for TPIL Lawyers. QAFL round 4 action. There'll be another commentary game next week. And of course, keep an eye on the website. And iSports as for all the stats on Mondays, as well as the Bond University QAFLW. Ball back in the centre. Trying to get through with Sullivan. Just wrested from him by Swallow. Got the ball out to Harrison Fraser, the first goal of the match. Close kick away just before O'Day tackled him again. Down towards Minogue. Misread the ball. And the clearing breakaway there by Tommy Foon. Oh! McGuinness over the top. Just missed Woodman, a spectacular mark. Jay Foon, he breaks away for Labrador, kicks the ball up, and right on the siren, there is Jake Goldsmith. So I've got to stay for this kick, obviously. Well, Ben Woodburn got a goal literally right on the 3/4 time siren. This quarter's only gone 27 minutes. But Jake Goldsmith has kicked 3, looking for 4 goals for the second consecutive week. He had a good finish last week. He's had a good second half here today. Leading goal kicker for Service Paradise, Harrison Fraser, he had 3. But they've been goalless so far in this last term, Surface Paradise. Can Labrador put 3 on the board? It goes across the face. So that is it. 8-9-57. The final margin will be 26 points. Labrador came back with only 2 goals in the final term. It wasn't enough. Surface Paradise remained undefeated after their 3 games. 12-11-83. On behalf of the team here at Calibre Homes Oval, we'll see you next week for another game at TPIL Lawyers QAFL. Jason's away, so the Rachel runs from the